Welcome, BBCers, to episode number 288 of the Broken by Concept podcast, the number one League of Legends solo queue educational and motivational podcast. Curtis is not here today for the first time in the Broken by Concept history. He's currently on vacation. So we have Praedyth here, who will be joining us for a ultimate mega episode on AD carries. We've got two AD carries here. Obviously, Charlie is familiar. People familiar with him with the
I hope so.
ADC shenanigans.
Yep.
And then people in the Botland Academy will know you, Praedyth, but for the people that aren't in the Botland Academy, do you want to quickly introduce, well, obviously, a solo queue podcast mainly. So your solo queue achievements, and then, yeah, we can maybe talk a little bit about your competitive as well.
Yeah, so I started off, I don't know if many people know this, but I started off as a top laner. I was top 10 as a top laner, decided to role swap to AD carry. I got rank 1 whilst role swapping, so I decided to full commit. Hit rank 1 another time, so multi-time rank 1. Competitive, made it to MSI, group stage, beat C9, you know how it is.
Who was the AD carry on that C9 team at the time?
Sven.
That was Sven, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a very historic win, I remember, for Ose. It was a big deal. Ose beating Perks was the mid laner at the time.
Yeah, my favorite player.
Yeah, that's when he just switched from G2, right? So that was, was that the game where Pabu played Fiddlesticks?
No, we played Fiddlesticks against RNG and lost.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what he
Thank
played.
you for bringing that up. No, he played Udyr in the win, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, there you go.
So Charlie was the coach for Praedyth's team back in, so it's 2021, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you guys won the Oceanic region, went to MSI, represented Oceania there, and then, yeah, didn't make it out of the group but beat C9, right? Is that what happened? Yeah.
No, we did make it out of groups. We didn't make it to the quarters.
Oh, to the quarterfinals, I see.
We made it to group stage.
And, you know, talking about you actually role swap, Praedyth, why did you switch to ADC? Was that just because there was more opportunities for the ADC position? Did you enjoy the role
swap
better?
away from ADC.
Yeah.
Two other things.
You swapped into ADC from top lane.
Yeah. So I played for, it was called Tainted Minds. It's really cursed. Things happened in OS with this roster. I had a really promising lineup, good coach in Arrow. Yeah, people might know him now. I think he's coaching C9. And so I was like, I was a good boy. I would play tanks. And then everyone left me. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to play carries now. So I was playing carries for about a year. And I was like, if I'm just going to play carries every time, I can just play AD carry. Makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I see. Okay.
Yeah.
So did you play AD carries in the top lane? Like, was Vayne stuff still popular?
No,
or
not
you
really.
Just the normal like Camille's and stuff like that. And
I wasn't
Yunara.
It wasn't really a thing back then, playing AD carries top.
It wasn't. I would play Fiora. Fiora was a big one, but like anything Camille, any carries. I played Lissandra top a lot. And then Kaisa came out, and I think, you know, you fall in love with Kaisa. She's just too fun. So,
yeah.
Here we are.
All right, so the way we're going to structure this episode is we're just similar to the initial ADC episode that we did. That was one of Charlie's first time sort of coming on the podcast as well, I remember at the time. A lot of people were very angry in that episode because we didn't cover every single champion. So we're going to be covering every single champion, including majors today.
Every single bot laner.
Every single bot laner, exactly right. That will be played in the bot lane position. And I'm going to weave in general ADC questions in here, as well as, you know, sort of the topics that come up from certain champions. So that's the way the structure of the episode is going to be going. And when we talk about each champion, you know, we're not going to do like a mini guide on these champions. I sort of want to be the main topic is what are the common narratives that you see that prevent people from climbing with these champions? And also, you know, what are the common things you always see in coaching sessions that you'll find yourself repeating over and over again that people maybe know in theory, but just can't execute, and sort of the psychology around that? Because we love our narratives here on the Broken by Concept podcast, breaking them down. So the first question I want to actually start with is the new changes to this season for 2026 for ADC, when you're bot lane, the quest. What do you think so far about the quest? Are you happy with it? Do you feel the gold?
Yeah, so just to disclaim as well, I actually did not prepare at all for this podcast. This is all my raw thoughts.
Yes.
So I'm like completely unfiltered.
We're taking Praedyth raw, yeah.
What I think of the quest, I actually was really down on the quests and the changes. I thought this season was going to be trash, like Mage Kingdom again. But I think that, with the accelerated gold, no character in the game, no role in the game gets a bigger 3-item power spike than Infinity Edge third item. On characters that build IE third, that is the biggest power spike in the game. So getting that extra gold, especially with things like cashback, snowballing that way, the more plates as well that we're actually getting access to, which I thought that the plate system would be more so for the top laners, but I'm getting a lot of plates. Those plates are mine, right? So I'm getting to these 3 items really fast, and I'm able to carry a lot of games with my 3 items, right?
And let's just dive into the champs now. So we'll go literally by alphabetical order.
That'll make it nice and easy for the timestamps.
All right, so Aphelios.
Praedyth is an Aphelios main. When I coached Praedyth, Aphelios was basically pick or ban by us. It was banned against us most of the time, and I think do we ever even lose with Aphelios? Probably not, right?
Oh, probably.
Probably?
Yeah.
No, let's just go with we didn't.
Yeah, we didn't. We never lost with Aphelios ever.
Never lost with
90%
Aphelios.
win rate at least.
Let's go with that, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't look it up.
Well, actually, let's go a bit more deeper on Aphelios. So do you think Aphelios, the common narrative is it's the hardest hardest ADC champ in the game, or bot lane champ? Would you agree with this?
I don't think so until I watch people play it.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I think maybe it is the hardest.
So what would you think is the hardest if it's on Aphelios then?
It's a hard question. I'd probably say, Ezreal's really hard to be great at, right? You watch Korean Ezreal players and you'll be like, yeah, okay, well, this is how the champ's meant to look, but I've never seen it like this. Champions that need to win lane, I think, are very hard to play. Kalista.
So like Draven, Kalista.
Draven's fake because you spawn in, well, I guess we'll get into that later. But yeah, like Kalista, these champions, you need to win lane. You need to squeeze a lot out of lane. These champions are the hardest to play because there's no like forgiveness if you int, right?
Yep.
There's not really a greener side of the, there's nothing afterwards. You just despair, right?
Yeah.
So I think those champions are the hardest, and probably Ezreal in that list of champions for sure.
So coaching Aphelios,
What do you notice when you coach Aphelios players?
And what do you think you need to focus on? What are the big 20%ers that actually get people results?
Okay, so all right, Charlie. What gun do you hate in the mid game as Aphelios?
What gun do I hate in the mid game?
Hate using?
Hate the most? Which gun?
Honestly, probably. It depends on the situation. It's going to be green or purple.
Yes. So purple is the common answer, right? I ask a person, do you like having purple gun in the mid game? And they say, no, it's the worst gun in the game. But they're just holding on to it. They're not using the ammo. They're not pressing Q on the wave.
Yeah.
The team fight comes up. Suddenly they're on like purple blue, and they're just playing like, they're just playing a F tier champion at that point. You're playing purple gun Aphelios in a team fight. You don't want to cycle your guns. You don't press tab, look at the timers, see that, a minute 30 on Dragon, and you just start thinking about my gun rotation. Instead, they just rock up. They haven't used their purple ammo at all intentionally, and now they have purple gun.
A good analogy I would use when thinking about Aphelios is a champion like Nah. A lot of lower elo players on Nah will rock up at a fight, and if they have Mega, excellent. If they don't have Mega, then whatever, we're going to fight anyway. Aphelios is the same. You need to plan your fights in advance to rock up with the correct guns. And that's why I hesitated a bit when you asked me about which gun is the worst, because in some games, like you want different gun combos to versus different champions. Is my perspective. What do you tell people to do that, or do you tell people to just kind of keep it simple?
I think depending on the expertise. So if you're new to Aphelios, I just say focus on getting blue and red, and you can run around and just play team deathmatch.
Yep.
Right. That's what I would recommend if you're new. If you're more experienced, then for sure you're trying to get certain guns. But yeah, purple gun just kind of, you pretty much never want purple gun in the mid game. Early game it's good, but not in the mid game, right?
Yep, makes sense. Yeah, I think Aphelios is pretty straightforward, to be honest with you. I think just to like really simplify what I'm going to steal the show already. I'm already telling him.
Right. I've got 2 ADCs here. You can talk for 30 minutes, and then Praedyth can talk for 30 minutes. I'm just here asking the questions as a non-ADC player.
Yeah. So the thing is with Aphelios is that, and I think I probably said the same thing last time we recorded this, is if you play him just like a champion who's going to walk up and right-click people, you're not going to do anything. You're going to be outperformed by easier-to-play champions like Jinx and Sivir, right? These are champions where you can just rock up and right-click and you do a lot, right? Aphelios, you're a caster, fundamentally, right? Your damage comes from your abilities and your ability to use the correct guns in the correct way. That's why he's so unintuitive. And even if people can get through lane on the champion, being able to stand there in a 5v5 and actually output the correct amount of damage is just insanely hard for people because it's not intuitive. Whereas a champion like Jinx or Sivir or a lot of other AD carries actually is quite intuitive, I would say.
Anything else to talk about for Aphelios? Only things you notice in your coaching? 20%ers.
Honestly, people are really surprised about still like red-white damage to objectives, especially red, white, green objectives like towers and Baron. I always say like you could just look to do Baron here. If they see you, then it's fine, ping it off. You can always look to start Baron with red, white, green. Always look to cheat some more plates with that. You know, if you get tempo on a wave, or you just like abandon a team fight and go just eat a tower. I kind of pioneered killing towers actually, in general. But I would just leave a dragon and go hit a tower, and I would just kill it because you're just red, white. You're just slamming the tower so fast.
I remember the Praedyth special. Charlie would always say is your supports room. Everyone's going to the grubs fight, and you just don't care about grubs. You're just getting the whole bot tower by yourself.
Yeah, 100%.
And you think that's always more worth.
Oh, if I don't carry, you can blame me.
Yeah. Okay, after that, you're putting a lot of responsibility on yourself when you do that. Yeah. Okay, Ashe.
You see much Ashe?
Yeah, Ashe. People don't really play Ashe.
No heaps, no.
We have
No,
some
not
Ashe
for sure.
players in Botlane Academy. People do get results on it generally.
And why don't people play Ashe? Is it just because the champion's an old champion? Is it outdated? Is it just too supporty?
I think people think, I know me and Charlie are aligned on this, but people think that Ashe is an entry-level AD carry, when the reality is that you need insane kind of matchup knowledge. You need to be able to bully and win lane, which people are not going to be good at if they're new to AD carry, right? So I think that's a big misconception, is that people new to Ashe will play Ashe and they won't carry games. They'll go into the mid game. They'll miss position as well because, you have no mobility. I think that I see normally from Ashe players, I tell them, you should do more in lane, and then they try to do more and then they die a lot. So it's just about, you have to have a bit of experience, I think, to be good at Ashe.
So would Ashe go into that category of hard, you have to get the juice out of the lane from the champion, or the champion's useless?
Yeah, unless you're like autofilled or secondary role and you want to start carrying games as Ashe, you need to squeeze the most out of laning phase.
Yeah.
Or you should be playing, like if you're not squeezing out of laning phase, just play Sivir or Jinx and just team fight, right? You got to ask yourself, when you play a champion like Ashe, why am I playing Ashe when I could play Jinx, right? So you have to look for those engages. You have to look to win lane, or you should have just picked Jinx.
What are people good at hitting R with Ashe?
No.
What's the most common Ashe R you see?
Someone's like spam pinging
Yeah.
this guy's head, and then they just like start sprinting up to them, and then they shoot the arrow.
Yeah.
And it's like my mum could tell you that
Yeah.
that was gonna happen, and they'll dodge it, right?
Yeah, I remember when making the Ashe guide ages ago. The two best ults that I figured out was like ideally from Fog, right? Or W into R is actually a fucking sick combo. Like you walk up to someone, you max range W them, they're slowed, then you ult them. Or you ulti them when they're like up against a wall or something. What I see all the time is people just fling it across the map, and then they don't have it for their pressure. Yeah, because think about Ashe, right? She has a broken ult. People will agree. Her ult's one of the best ults in the game. It's insanely strong. But if you're pegging it across the map every 2 seconds to try and snipe the enemy top laner, you don't have it for your 2v2, and then you lose all pressure. That's the biggest thing I see with Ashe players. So if you're an Ashe player, don't do that.
So
Just save it for lane.
So most of the time, it's better to do short to medium range.
Medium range are the best, yes.
Yeah.
Even just short range. Just if you're winning your lane and you think you can stack check the enemy, just peg it at them. Especially enchanters or mage supports. Ashe farms mage supports. Like imagine if you're visiting of Xayah in lane versus Ashe. Just peg the ult at the Xayah. Just kill her.
She's dead, yeah.
That's what people need to do more.
Especially when they're CSing and when you're CSing, you just throw it out. Like when they're about to last you to creep, they're not gonna they're focusing on the minion, right? I mean, it's the best time to trade in general, but they're definitely, in my experience, they're not going to dodge the Ashe ult if they're going for a minion, right? They're not going to flash it in time.
All right, next champion is Caitlyn.
You just made a Caitlyn guide, Praedyth.
I did. It was very fun.
What surprised you maybe when you were making the guide? Things that you added into the guide, or you think people need to focus on?
I mean, what surprised me about Caitlyn is just how much damage she does. Like, just one auto. Like, there's no champion like that just, you get 4 or 5 items and you're just running around with a nuke. Like, it's crazy. It's actually crazy.
Really, you think it's the champion right now the nuke most? Just from is it because her AD?
It's AD scaling on the headshot, and I guess just the items synergizing with her well, like Rapid Fire Cannon, Hex Optics. These items, as well, just scaling, I guess. And he just runs around and just headshots someone, and it feels so unbalanced. Like I don't know how you could play like a champion like Kalista. You could build tabbies, you could build armor, but Caitlyn's still gonna deal like 1.5k to your head, and you can't tank 2 of those. You're gonna die.
So I think that is probably the biggest misconception, right, that we try and get across in the guide too, is that Caitlyn scales like a truck.
Yep.
Like, I think the way you explain it, Praedyth, is like you're very, very strong early, and then you've got the classic Caitlyn power trough that exists if you fall behind, and then you're always going to be really, really strong. Like one of the strongest 6-item carries, right, because of how easy it is to deal damage.
That's because of her range.
Yeah, range, AD scaling, safety. Yep.
Yep.
So, do people have success with Caitlyn in general, like in the academy?
I mean, yeah. So like the biggest, I would say, mistake / misconception kind of thing I see of Caitlyn is that you don't really want to be trading your health. People will walk up and they trade blow for blow. You're not really trading like that as Caitlyn. You're using your range advantage. You're using your Q range. You're pushing them in first before you start hitting them. So you're not actually trading health. It's more like you're poking them.
I see.
Because if you're taking damage back, a lot of the time it's not going to be what you want to do as Caitlyn, because you can actually get away with, not taking damage back. So yeah, the thing that I would advise Caitlyn players to do is, instead of looking for even wave, just hitting the guy with the delay state in neutral, try to push the wave a bit first. Try to get him when he's looking at a minion. Try to Q him through the wave and hit him under tower, right? That is the biggest piece of advice for Caitlyn, because people feel so pressured to just walk up and start trading when you're not Yunara. You don't trade like that.
So you're trying to always stay healthy.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, but isn't that for every AD carry? Why is it more with Caitlyn? Is it because if you get low HP on any other AD carry, you're just going to get killed by a gank or something? Why is it just because Caitlyn should never be basically losing HP because she's that strong in lane?
Yeah, pretty much, right. And you got to think of a champion like Yunara, stacks Q, lethal tempo. I'm going to start punching you, and if you punch me back, I'll win.
Ah, I see.
Right?
So she loses against most champions in the trade-in.
Yeah.
Like
much.
blow for blow. I see.
Yeah.
So that's just her weakness. Okay.
Yeah, it's just the way the kit's balanced,
Yeah.
right? Imagine if she could match the all-in and had more range.
Yes.
Broken champ. That's
Yeah.
how the champion is balanced.
So you see people in coaching sessions literally trying to trade back and forth with the people. Yeah. Yes, that's the biggest problem. Okay, well, yeah, so that champion's just gonna. That's maybe what all my Caitlyn's in my games do, because I have a big narrative. Okay, I've said this on the podcast before, but I just don't win games with Caitlyn. I can get Caitlyn ahead in lane, but they can't translate. That's another thing. Why can't people translate their lead?
Oh, that's a good point as well. It's about you just got to be humble a bit. Like you peak in laning phase, right? So you're peaking, you have all your friends, but then you go into high school, you have less friends into the mid game. But you need to social climb back up, get that IE, get that what's it called, LDR, and then you're back to being peaking again, right? But you gotta respect the trough. Another thing is that you gotta respect tempo. You gotta respect Caitlyn wants a controlled fight. Everyone in front of me, everyone coming from one direction, tanks in front of me. That's what fight she wants. If she's getting flanked, she's the worst champion at getting flanked.
Yeah.
Right. So if you're building Yuntail, you're just sitting there just trying to minigun people down. You're gonna get caught. People are going to come flank you. You need to be really aware of the map. Make sure you're on the dragon before it spawns. And just respecting your tempo, right? A lot of time in lane, people will greed items, but it's you're going to win the lane anyways. You're playing Caitlyn. So don't greed the item. Don't greed, I don't know, the item in the mid game as well. Just get onto the dragon, put your traps down, have people coming from one place, and you'll just win like that. But people are very greedy.
Yeah, I've actually, because I did have a big narrative around Caitlyn, I was just losing every game. I tried to get into the details with it. And what I found actually a lot in the mid games, that second or third dragon, if my Caitlyn's not there, I'm actually already preparing to trade. But for other champ, let's say I have a Kalista or something, I will just fight that dragon, So what I realize is that I need to just think that my Caitlyn's going to be useless in this type of scenario, and I need to respect that. And I got way more results with that. And then now I can understand how to, win games.
Treat it like a Victor or an Anivia or something, where you need to let people come into you.
Yep.
Yeah. I think that's the biggest problem with Caitlyn, is that your teammates I mean, I don't know. Do you think that you're reliant on your teammates learning to play around with you, or you can actually fully take control of the game start to finish with Caitlyn?
You can take control of the game. I just see people, they see their teammates fight and then they join them, they get flanked, they die, right? You got to learn to say no, and you got to learn to not chase people into like their jungle and chase people down the lane unless you know where everyone is, right?
Yeah, I mean, some of the best Caitlyn gameplay I see, right, is where you're controlling an area, and if someone enters that area, you hit them, but you never go forwards. You're constantly controlling space, and maybe you're moving up inch by inch, taking more and more space, and that's just insanely unintuitive, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, that's just not an intuitive way to play, which is why Caitlyn doesn't necessarily get the most results. There's still definitely people who climb with the champion, but you just need to, like Praedyth said, you need to understand tempo, which is not an intuitive concept.
Yeah. All right, Corki.
Oh,
Now, Charlie, you're a Corki enthusiast.
Yep, my second most played champion last year. I think I had at least 150 Corki games played the whole year.
So was Corki...
I invented Corki, like Praedyth invented hitting towers.
Is Corki... Was that when he was like broken? Is he like weak now, or was he strong?
Look, I mean, Corki has been just a stable pick for the last probably year and a bit. Yeah, I mean, he's still strong. If you look at pick rates in like the highest levels, he's still picked all the time. He's still a champion that has pretty much no bad matchups. Like, he loses to high range characters like a lot of people do, but not that hard. And you can always like get through the game, scales relatively well, spikes at pretty much every point. Just a very clean AD carry, you know, has mobility, spikes at 1 item, 2 item, and 6 item. He probably got better this season, if anything. But yeah.
So what's Corki's weaknesses?
Corgi's weaknesses, I mean, low range for sure. If you're paired with a weak laning support, then it can be a little bit painful. Like if I'm playing with like an Alistar or a Braum or something and I'm versing double range lane, it's going to be a bit shit and I'm probably not going to be able to snowball. But if you do have strong laning support, you can take off really good extended trades. And I think probably 3 items, you're shitter than most crit ADs. But then you get back a little bit later than that. But yeah, 2 items is really where you're strong.
What do you find people make mistakes with Corki in coaching sessions?
Not picking it. It's
No
not
one plays
just
it.
not popular enough.
No, yeah.
A couple of people who had tried the Corki journey and fallen and given up on the Corki journey.
Did they say why?
Yeah, again, it's just not intuitive. Like Corki really relies on you having really good kill threat. You need to know when to Valk forward. You need to know when to turn your E on and bash their head. If you just sit there and hit all the minions like you're playing Zeri or something, you won't necessarily win games. So it's another one of those kind of early game champions where if you don't juice what you can out of the early game, you're just playing Corki at that point. And you're a low range carry who doesn't necessarily build attack speed. So you're going to be able to carry mid game sometimes, but not all the time.
Okay, next champion.
Yeah, that's a boring Corki. No one cares about Corki.
Yeah, let's just move on for Corki.
Move on
ASAP.
fast.
All right, Draven. We got shout out to always Dan, man.
Dan Man, our resident Draven main in Botland Academy. So I got quasi-famous last year around this time for making my Draven YouTube short, remember?
Yeah,
that
I
was
think that went
from
viral.
the 80 carry episode.
And what did you say?
People got very angry at what I said. I said Draven shouldn't play aggressive for kills in lane. He should play to generate a bunch of stacks and then just get 1 kill to cash in. So there you go. That's
What do you think
what
about
do you
this,
reckon?
Praedyth?
about what Charlie said?
Yeah.
Yeah, and just Draven in general.
Um,
But yeah, you need to address exactly what Charlie said. Is he correct?
no, no. But he's rarely correct.
That's right. Charlie's
Kinda
really
one of
correct
his
on this
problems,
podcast.
yeah.
That's right. That's why people flame him in the comments.
Yeah.
Well, if you say
He's
as many
been-
things as
he's
I
been
do,
like
you're bound
this.
to be wrong half the time.
Yeah, no, I'm used to that. Yeah, I mean, narrative about Draven is that, you know, they're the Chads, right? But I kind of think it's a bit like, you know, they're not really Chads. Because, like, they're just growing up with just better genetics. It's like you're playing basketball, but you're like 7'5" in middle school. It's like you run up with 2 axes, you start hitting someone, it's like, okay, man, like, grats, like, what, like, you know, you just auto win lane. Isn't that a bit beta?
That's a good way of putting it. So, do you think that people...
Spoken like a true hypercarry player,
Yeah.
by the way.
Do they...
Never touched Draven in his life.
So the problem is that the Draven players think that it's talent. Sorry, they earned.
No, okay. So let me be clear, right? So there's 2 types of Draven mains, right? There's Dan Man, who he's a respectful, nice man. He will play games out. He won't AFK. Like there's a lot more Draven players that are nice and respectful and good people. But then there's the Draven players who, when times get tough and suddenly their 7'5" genetics don't matter anymore because they're playing like they're swimming or something, then they start running it down. But it's like, okay, things are getting hard, you're running it down. You're kind of a coward, aren't you?
I see. I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's a good analogy.
yeah, so that's what I think of Draven players. You know, if you're Dan Man and you're playing Draven, like respect, you know, like you're probably getting ganked a lot as well, and then like as well as your support stuff is probably really heavily mentally taxing because if you start losing, you're playing Draven, so it sucks. So if you like Dan Man, be like Dan Man. Be respectful.
Well, he's like one of the best Dravens in NA, right? So his playstyle works.
Yeah, and he's a nice guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, more
Okay.
importantly.
Got
Love
it.
that guy.
More importantly.
Yeah.
And so do you coach most Draven players? Or does Dan Man take most of the Draven players?
A few. More than Corki.
Interesting things that you've noticed?
The games are hard to review. Yeah.
Because of the nature of the champion.
Yeah, no, they're just, it's like, you know.
You say end of review, like at this point?
Yeah, like either, like if you're sending a review in, you're either snowballing hard and you don't win,
yeah.
so we're reviewing mid game,
Yep.
or you just do something in lane and completely just fuck it,
Yeah.
and then you just, you know, and then the
So
game's
is Draven the
hard.
worst champion from behind as an AD carry? Is that why
What
you're
do you
saying?
think? Probably not.
So I zoned out. I was fixing his mic.
Is Draven the worst champion from behind, like as an ADC?
Certainly they make it look like it when they play the game, but when I watch Dan play, no, it looks fine.
Yeah.
A lot of AD carries that have strong early games of weak from behind. Is Kalista the worst AD carry from behind? Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah,
On hit
Kalista would
Varus
be,
as
yeah.
well.
Varus in general, get that off my screen. We'll discuss that later.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, so with Draven, people learning Draven, right? So there's definitely some outlier people, like Logan, who's big in our bot lane academy. He's learned the game through Draven, basically. And he learned Draven so like systematically, where we would have incredibly short reviews to begin with. Just like, you're not pressuring in lane. You need to like engage yourself, use your E aggressively, walk forward and throw axes when you can stat check. Just like generally play more like Draven, because he started from a very reserved position and then built up from that. And he actually got a lot of success with that and genuinely learned so much about the game and climbed on Draven. That's insanely rare. He's like one in a million. Most people, like Draven players, rock up. They're like got the hard style in their ears. They're just pegging axes like they don't care. And we have to tell them, mate, calm it down. Like, get the wave on your side. Stop smashing minions and dying.
That
you know?
was the
Classic.
Well, the Dante special, right?
Yeah, that's what Dante's to do. Just bash the wave 24/7 and die to ganks and blame his team. So good.
Happens
riddance
in
to that
Challenger
guy.
too. Happens everywhere.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
not
exactly.
regular,
Because
yeah.
I think the skill set of most Draven players they climb with isn't necessarily the cerebral part of the game, right? It's just hand stiffing people and knowing your matchups really, really well.
7 foot in high school.
Yeah, exactly right. But yeah, I think Draven's pretty irrelevant. Honestly, it's a hot topic, but not many people play it. We have a few people in BLA who play it, and we've got good coaches for Draven. But just not very popular.
Okay, so by the way, the structure of this episode, people might be saying, where's the, we're going to alphabetical order, why are we missing Mage Champions? Mage Champions will be a separate section after we go through the actual, I'm not going to say proper champions, but like the
marksmen.
80s,
The
the
marksmen,
real
yes.
champions. Yes.
Oh.
Marksmen and markswomen.
real champions. All right, next one is Ezreal. God, okay, I always say if I have an Ezreal on my team, my % chance of winning that game massively reduces. And there's one thing, this is my narrative, again, for the listeners, is that I can't stand Ezreals that don't auto-attack. Or should they just be hitting more Qs? Is it a me issue or a their issue?
If you play, I don't know, if you play Ezreal, you're probably like not autoing. Like you're probably autoing. Like, what else are you doing? I don't.
They're trying to hit Qs. They're not auto.
So what he's scared of is he's scared of it. He doesn't like playing with an Ezreal who sits really far back in fights and just throws Qs from the outskirts.
So they're off roll.
No, these are main 80 carry
No, they're
roles,
not.
no.
This is a narrative from like 5 years ago that he's got in his
And-
head. It makes
no,
no sense.
no,
He was
I-
saying this ages ago.
The way that I see it, Praedyth, is that they're in like melee range and they could kill someone with an auto attack or kill people with auto attacks, but they throw a Q and they miss the Q and then die.
Okay.
This is that thing that's burned in my head.
You can just ignore that, by the way.
I want you to like when you get home and you queue up League, just like reset, then look at the Ezreal players, and I promise you they're fucking psychos. A lot of them.
You think so?
Yes, a lot of them. They're psychos, and because you need to be a psycho to play Ezreal. You
Okay.
can't before you could get your, I guess you can double tier now, but there's a lot more scaling when it came to Ezreal. But now, like, that champion is forgotten about. Every season, that champion somehow gets a lower win rate and then has to be hotfixed 5-6 times before he's playable again, because he's just not a champion that should be like an AD carry, because he builds different items, right?
They also run lethal tempo now.
Yeah.
So you have to auto.
I see. Okay, well, so yeah, the best Ezreals that I have versed do play like psychos. But for some reason, just on my team, because I'm the victim, my Ezreals don't play like psychos.
You know what couldn't be Nathan?
What's that?
It's because all the high elo Ezreals do what I see.
Yeah,
so you
I
probably
don't play
see
in high enough elo.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
So that could be the issue.
Yeah. Done. We've solved it.
Yeah.
So, coaching Ezreals, what do you find?
I mean, they can always do more in lane, and then they do too much. So it's about finding that middle ground. I think Ezreal's a really hot topic. You do a tier list, you put him low, people hate it. You put him high, people hate it, because at the end of the day, as I said, if Ezreal are playing Ezreal, it'll look like the best champion in the game. He will win lane, and he'll snowball his lead, and he won't make a mistake, and then they'll win the game, right? But
Is that why it's so hard to balance? Because it's just such a skill champion. Like, right, have a really hard time balancing that champion in general.
same thing as like Yunara and these champions. It's
I think Ezreal is balanced. I think it's balanced. I think the current position of Ezreal is really good. He's played in competitive, like infrequently, but sometimes. You try and play him in solo queue, you need to be a beast to win. I think he's in a great spot. I don't think they should tweak him at all, honestly.
but like he has the misconception that people like, for example, like what Nathan said, like the off-roll Ezreals.
Yeah.
Well, like that's what I said, I guess. But like the type of Ezreal player Nathan is describing is like an off-roll Ezreal who wants to get his items and scale, but that's not Ezreal's identity anymore.
People need to view Ezreal like a Riven, like the Riven of bot lane. You need to just really get good at that specific champion and like know your matchups.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. But yeah, so you got Ezreal is obviously the hardest champ to win games on in my perspective as well. Like my account shows it. I bombed my account at the start of the season playing only Ezreal. I think I have a 30% winner on Ezreal.
Yep.
Then I switched to Smolder and I have an 80% winner on Smolder. So
Yeah.
that's the opposite ends of the ease of execution spectrum, I would say. And I mean, not to back. I think I'm quite good at Ezreal and I still couldn't win games. So like even if you can win lane on that champ, like closing it out and outputting damage in fights is really hard.
Okay, next champion here, we've got Jhin. You've been playing a lot of Jhin, Charles.
Yeah, it's funny. We've bunched together all the champs that Praedyth doesn't play. Like, Corki. Yeah, I mean, not a lot of Jhin. I play a bit of Jhin. We're going to make a new Jhin guide soon, which I will do. Yeah, Jhin's just Jhin. Like, what do people do wrong with Jhin? Narrative-wise, people don't trade enough as Jhin, I think. We actually get a lot of success with people playing Jhin because he's like... I mean, the meme is that he's Mr. Useful, right? He just rocks up in the game, throw a W here and there, pop an ult. You don't need to have crazy positioning. You kind of run it around super quick with the Stormrazor as well. Really forgiving champion, super useful, even from behind. Just get a Jhin on your team. Really good off-roll champ as well.
Yep.
Good for mid laners to play in bot lane because he's more of like a caster.
Yep.
But he's capable of a lot more than people think. If people want to climb with Jhin as their main character, and you're going to need to do more. It's easy to get like at a 50% and 51% win rate, but to really push and climb, you need to be knowing how to win your matchups, knowing what a good short trade looks like, knowing how to just slow build waves, and yeah, just one-shot people as well with the ult. The ult does like half someone's health if you land all 4 bullets. So people are missing a lot of kills as well with that champ.
Let me, just to add on to that, I think the two things for Jhin players that I see is the trade pattern's always off. You're either auto, Q auto, or just like Q autoing, right? Like 4-shot. Or you're like getting all 4 bullets off, and then, you know, with your Q and your W and you're running away. So people will often just like no Q up, just auto someone twice, you know, just like second and third bullet for no reason. Whereas like, I don't know what you're telling me, like why are you walking up? Because you shouldn't be trading right now. You should be waiting for your Q. You should be attacking once more so you get your 4-shot. In a short trade, if you want to all in, which you're not going to win the all in, then you should be doing what you're doing, but then you should just 4-shot and then... Yeah, and then the second thing is what Charlie said, just getting someone to the 50%, 40% threshold and popping ult, that is kind of your win condition for all-ins. It's about kind of, you know, playing on the edge, making sure you're not getting all-in, but getting them low, you're low, but then you have the ult to kill them.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the best trades.
Do you have to have a small wins mindset with Jhin?
He just yes. You do have a small wins mindset, but it's more about just executing that one pattern. You know, you need to know specifically how his champ trades. He doesn't trade like a normal AD. You know, he's like Praedyth said, all of his like skill, all his damage is inbuilt into 3 things: his Q bounce, his 4th shot, and his R. If you just use normal autos, he's useless.
What about can Jhin play into heavy tank teams? They build armor.
Some people hate Jhin, but I mean, it just depends on what else you've got in your comp. If you've got like a mage mid with Blackfire Torch and like a damaged top laner, then yeah, sure, absolutely, you can play Jhin into tank comps. I know people. I'm going to shout out Shock. Shock hates Jhin. I know whenever I see Shock in my games and I'm popping off on Jhin, he hates it because he knows we're going to lose late game, and we do.
I do have a narrative as well with Jhin. No, but these are Jhin and Caitlyn are the same thing. Is that I need to if my Jhin has no R, and then he's also not in position. Like the fight's going to be chaotic. Like he has no mobility. I need to respect that and I'll like give dragons or give things and trade. Like Jhin and Caitlyn are like the one. Once I started to play into their strengths, I had way more success. But I definitely see how Shock just absolutely hates Jhin.
He has Ezreal too, by the way.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there you go. Yeah. So Ezreal, Jhin, and Caitlyn are the champs that I will most have had a very hard time winning games with.
Yeah, and just to leap on what you're talking about real quick, right? So you said that you shouldn't pick Jhin into tanks. So we should be giving AD carry last pick.
Oh, there we go. Interesting.
Because I don't know why my Master Yi jungle, or I don't know why my Janna no pivot is getting last pick, or my like bad matchup Ambessa. Just pick the champ, and I will do more with my last pick. You should give the AD carries last pick so they don't pick Jhin into tanks.
I see. Okay. And what about hitting the R? Why do people suck at hitting R as Jhin?
Because they rush the bullets. People don't understand. I think it's 15 seconds you have to shoot all 4 bullets.
Whoa,
Crazy
15
amount of time.
seconds.
Yep. You can sit there. I mean, it might be 13 or something, but I know for a fact you can literally go shoot, and then wait like 7 seconds to shoot that 4th bullet. So that's what you want to do. You want to hold the 4th bullet and then make people dance and juke themselves to death. Let me Google that to make sure I'm not wrong.
I couldn't give any advice. I suck at hitting Jhin ults. Like real bad.
I love the honesty. I like to pretend I'm good at every champ. It's quite refreshing
I'm
to
good
have
at
someone who's
Not good at Jhin ult or his W. I'm good at using his traps.
What did Charles you say last episode? You
I'm a
said
Sejuani man.
Sejuani.
I am,
lost it. Yeah. What is the
Sejuani's so fun. Love that champ.
Yeah, you play Sejuani top.
Yeah, it's fucking great.
10 seconds. I lied.
Yeah, come on, Charles. 15 seconds. That's like half the game.
10 seconds is a long time, man.
10 seconds is a long time.
Yeah. It feels like 10 seconds feels like 15 seconds in a League of Legends game.
Got to tell a bit of a white lie here and there.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we got Jinx. Have you played much Jinx, Praedyth?
Yeah, but like if you play AD carry a lot, that's a champ where it's like, okay, I'm first game back from my holiday to Cancun for 4 years. I'm just going to play Jinx, and it's like pretty plug and play. It's pretty forgiving. A lot easier to play than most other champs. But she's a lot of fun, high skill ceiling, carries most games if you get your items. I recommend Jinx to anyone who wants to play AD carry. Yeah.
Tony Roll, actually, I can't remember if this was from Tony Roll or you, Charles, but people say that Jinx is not actually good Master Plus.
Yeah, nah. It's good. Because, like, there's people who are just going to int, and you're just going to get your shutdowns.
That's what I find. I find exactly that. Like, Jinx is always can win a game.
Yeah, always. And then Jinx is also just, like, not that bad at anything in lane. She's a bit of a chameleon in a way. She can do what the support wants to do. If it's a mage, you can help him push. If it's, an enchanter, they'll protect you. If it's engaged, you can go in with them. She can do anything, like, decently. So I think she's a decent blind pick. Of course, when you get in Challenger and you're versing like Ezreal Karma, you're going to be really sad. But for the most part, you can play Jinx in any elo and be thriving.
Common mistakes, narratives with Jinx.
100% E.
Traps.
That shit is a 25-second cooldown. And I don't even know why people use like last hit creep sometimes. I'll like do damage to dragon. I'm like, nice. You got Zac jumping on you. You got Shaco stealthing up on you. Like, we got to use our E. Like, we got no way to peel ourselves besides getting excited. So how else are you going to peel yourself from anyone if you're just using your E to save your like useless top laner?
Is that because you think that people don't view E as a peel tool? They think it's more as like a fight's happening, I need to throw out my E to potentially stun them.
Exactly.
That's what it is.
Yes.
They throw it like an elite cocoon for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
On like a 4-second cooldown.
That's what you said, actually. It's like they just like, start of the fight, I'm going to press my buttons.
You got to smell. That's what I always say to people. especially the Volibear players in the Jungle Academy. The fight starts and they just smash their keyboard. I said, after this, you are the most useless champion in the game.
Yeah, 100%.
So you need to be, it's about the quality. I always say it's about you have to think about sometimes abilities. It's the quality of the usage, not the quantity. Because a lot of you only get one trap in a fight. Because the intuition that people have in League of Legends is, I use a cooldown, that means it's going to come up, quicker, right? But if you actually look at the context of the fights and practically, it only
you're going to get 1 E per fight.
1 P per fight. So you got to really make use of it.
Yeah. So what people do specifically with the E is, I see one of two things, right? They either throw it over the guy's head, like they literally have someone running at them, they'll throw it over their head. That's the biggest one, because they'll throw it at the start of a fight, and then what happens in most fights? People run at you as Jinx, right? So then you don't have your E. The best E's are where you place it on your feet or between you and enemies. They're the best ones. So you can just stand and deliver, and they can't run through the traps. And the other one is they just literally don't press the button. I see that as well. Just ability paralysis. They just pretend that they're an auto attack sentry turret, and they don't press any spells.
It's one or the other. No in between.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, Xayah. We did a episode together on Challenger vs Emerald. Why do people struggle with Xayah? Big 20%ers, common mistakes.
I don't know where to start. Hey,
Wait, actually, sorry. One more thing with Jinx. It's probably the champ that gets the most results, I would say, just across the board.
Yeah, recommended to
Yeah.
literally anyone.
Yep.
No rank you are.
If we count up all the LPs, the individual little league points that people have accumulated in Botland Academy, Jinx is responsible for a lot of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, sorry,
Xayah. Yeah, I don't know where to start. But there's a lot of things people make mistakes with Xayah. Something that's on my mind that I need to get off my chest is that people bring Xayah reviews. Everyone, I have a guide that tells you the runes, and you're either going AP and you take this, or you go AD and you take this. But they're taking a mix. I don't know where they get the mix from. Where are they getting the mix from? Someone tell me where you're getting the mix from.
It must be OPGG or something like that.
Yeah, it must be. Watch my guide.
Yeah.
You need to watch my guide.
So a big thing was the comments. People were losing their mind over the build and stuff like that. Like Kai'Sa's build, the whole AP thing and all that. Is build really important for Xayah? I mean,
Nah, it's so watch my guide.
Okay.
Yeah.
That just solves all your problems. And the guy that Praedyth's talking about, by the way, is in the Botland Academy. You have to be a member for.
Yeah.
I get a little bit closer.
Sorry. Yeah. Become a member of Botland Academy. You just learn so much. Clearly. Yeah. So there's just really simplified now. You get your always first 2 items, Kraken, Guinzoos, and then you're either pivoting AD crit or you're pivoting AP. That's AD crit, 1 word, 1 build, or AP, 1 word, 1 build, right?
So people mix them. What does a mix look like?
So a mix happens in the runes where they're taking a mix of presence of mind and lifesteal for AP build. Does it make sense? But for the builds now, it's really simple. You always go Fiend Hunter for AD after your 2 items. And then you go IE always. Really easy. Or you're going AP and you're going Dusk and Dawn or Nash's after your Guinzoos. And then you're, of course, going, as long as if you need it, if not Shadow Flame, and then Rabadon Void. It's really simple now. Build is not an issue. The gameplay is a bit sus sometimes.
What do you mean by sus? People jumping in, diving in, or not missing opportunities, or... Laning phase. If you ever get an all-in, you should take it as Xayah, because your champion doesn't function under tower. Your champion doesn't function pushed in. Your champion doesn't function if you're losing as Xayah. You need to be trying to win and looking for those all-in windows. You need to take good recalls, buy your items, making sure you're always taking good recall windows and taking the all-ins that are presented to you, because you're going to suffer versus most champs if you're just getting pushed in. So all the time, you have such short range, is that right?
Yeah.
Is that why?
Yeah, such short range, your stuff doesn't work through minions. So if you're getting pushed in, right, and you want to trade, then they have the minion advantage. Your abilities aren't going to work.
Makes sense.
Right, so you want to try to push. You want to try to get all the all-ins you can. That's the thing I see in lane. And then mid-game, it's just ult usage. If you can hit someone, you don't need ult. Your ult's more valuable than your flash in a late-game team, in a mid-game team fight, right? I would rather flash in a mid-game team fight than ult.
So people just save their flash too much because I guess people just naturally in League of Legends view flash as a defense tool rather than an aggressive tool.
Yeah, and my point for that is more so that they're just burning their ult for a shield when they're on a lot of HP. But you should save your ult for as long as you can, unless you can dive onto a target and one-shot them, of course, then do that. But you know, if you're just hitting a Scion, hitting a Wukong, you don't need to ult. You can just hold it, scale into the fight. Someone CCs an AD carry in the end of a fight or in the middle of the fight. You go in and dive. That's what I see every game. Every time I'm reviewing a Kai'Sa, it's every single ult usage. Let's see how we use it.
And I like the comment that you made in that Challenger vs Emerald episode we did about Kai'Sa's just obsessed with building Zhonya's. You said build Zhonya's if you need it. You like really justify to yourself, do I actually need it? Because you lose so much damage.
100%.
That's still the case?
100%, yeah. You should build it versus something here on a Zhonya's. Not even just AD champions, right? I'm versing a Malphite ult. I'm versing a Nautilus ult. I'm versing...
Zed? Like Assassins?
Like a Zed, yeah.
Talons?
Yeah, Zed, Talon. These things. Build a Zhonya's, 100%. But that's less than 50% of my games, I would say. So I'm going Shadow Flame, and I'm literally doing like 10, like literally 10 times. You're doing 10 times the damage. 10 times.
Especially if you're maxing W with the AP build second, right?
20 times.
It's mental.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Okay. Any other comments around Kai'Sa? I wanted to go a bit more on Kai'Sa because Kai'Sa's just a popular champion. And anything else you can think that comes to mind?
Yeah, so like Kai'Sa just is hard to deal damage on for people because it requires gusto. It requires you to have some balls. You know, you got to get in there and click, right? She's not a champion that kites backwards. She's an AD carry that goes forward. So you need to know when you can do things like 1v1 bruises, 1v1 other AD carries. Really just take up space and, just kill people. She requires aggression, right? Which a lot of AD carries don't. And if you play Kai'Sa boringly and just kite backwards and play a bit safe, then it's really hard to, get results. You have to be able to pounce on people and really look for those 1v1s constantly. I mean, that's what you do when you play Kai'Sa, right? Just constantly looking for 1v1s on enemies, isolate targets.
Yeah. Just be psychotic.
Be psychotic, yeah.
That is, I have a session with someone. Great example. Like so many people, so many ranks in the Discord that play Kai'Sa that this has worked on. One of them's Eduardo. When I first coached him, he was so scared of hitting anyone. And lately I have sessions with him and I'm like, he's just a psycho. He's just a complete psycho on Kai'Sa. And it's working most of the time, but it's a lot easier to dial that back.
Yep.
So you should always start with the being aggressive, try to be overly aggressive, and then dial it back later.
Because then you start knowing your kill thread and getting that muscle memory start built up.
Yeah, you know what it feels like.
So if you lock in Kai'Sa and you thinking playing safe and just looking for those all-in windows, you're not going to get results.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Without learning that first.
There needs to be a reason for your all-in.
Yeah.
Right? But you need to be able to fight to the last auto. Stand and deliver. Because if the longer the fight goes, the better it is for Kai'Sa. Because she basically has an extra ability in her passive. She will out-auto attack basically everyone, right?
Yep.
And what happens, Praedyth, when people say, well, I can't be aggressive because my support isn't a good big pick to be aggressive, or they just don't walk forward?
Yeah, so whenever someone says that, they don't ping. We can't communicate in League, right? So we're just reading each other's minds. So you do need a ping because that's the only way to communicate. I don't see anyone try to communicate. They just kind of complain to me that.
So they complain without...
Yeah, but they don't actually try to ping.
Yeah.
And in my experience, when people ping, not in my games, but also what I watch, when people ping, like they deliver, right? Like they will listen to your ping and maybe you have an argument after about it, but at least they'll listen. About again, and then about being paired with Janna, we should be giving ADC's last pick.
Yeah, just it goes back to that. It's going to go back to that a lot this episode.
Yeah, exactly.
I think if you ping, you can your Janna will transmog into a Nautilus, and you can just kind of run at them sometimes. But no. But in all seriousness, I like if you are paired, because a lot of people are OTP Kai'Sa, right? Very very popular champ, very fun champ. I think that goes without saying. This champion's awesome. Anyone who hasn't played Kai'Sa should definitely just have a spin around in a normal game. It's a lot of fun. You just need to play to scale more in games like that. If you can't kill your opponent in lane, you can't, and then just scale. It's fine.
Yeah, there's also a secret AP build. Join the academy and ask me, and you'll find it.
Oh my god!
But just ask me about it. But you have to join the academy first. And
my god!
Great shout.
And then I'll teach you about it. And that is a good build with
in those
the
games.
enchanters. Yeah,
yeah.
This is some guerrilla marketing strategies. Praedyth's gonna hide the bill.
All right, next
What was
up.
next?
Who's next? We've got Kalista.
We don't really need to say much about this, do we?
This is another one added to my.
She's just no one plays her. I think she has the lowest pick rate, right?
Oh yeah, I want to talk about how. Actually,
Is it a failed champ design from
say
Riot?
that. I was gonna blame Riot, but I didn't want to do it.
Yeah, no.
So
we can
but
just
if you're
say
gonna open that can of worms, why are we balancing a champion around competitive? I don't understand why that's a thing.
Is that what happens?
Yeah, 100% with a lot of champions like Kalista, even Varus like on hit and things, right? And like Corki and like Yunara now and Rise and Azir and blah blah blah. These champions get balanced around making competitive more fun, and you see that a lot of time with jungle changes as well. Actually, like junglers are in the meta for so long, so now they get punished and they have a low win rate, like Vi, right? But like, why don't we just like they have a tournament realm? Why don't they just nerf it on the tournament realm and then give like Kalista is the coolest design in the game. Hands down, the coolest design in the game. There's nothing like it. It's not frustrating to verse. It's just not good because in competitive, they first pick or ban it. But I think the champion is so cool. I also do think if you do one trick it, and especially with duo queue, now it is a good champ to play in that sense. But you should never play Kalista
by yourself.
Yeah. Pretty much. Like you could one trick it, you would have good results. Like you'd have decent results, right? You can play any champ, but that champ just suffers because pro players hate him.
Yeah, because when it's piloted well, it wins every matchup, right? That's the problem. When it's broken, when it's overtuned, it wins every matchup.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's fun. Hop around. It's cool.
Yeah.
Moving on.
All right.
Moving on, yeah.
Next champ. Kog'Maw. All right, back to you now, Charlie. Here.
Yeah, I mean,
Kog'Maw. So has Kog'Maw been updated at all over the years? Is it the same champion?
Yeah, he has been updated one time. His Q thing didn't used to have an active component to it. It was just passive attack speed.
That's right. Yeah.
This is like in 2012 or something.
That's crazy.
That's
crazy.
That might have been before your time, Mark.
Yeah.
But and the ulti was surely different. I think it didn't ramp as well as it does now. It used to just be flat damage. But who gives a fuck about what Kog'Maw was like in 2012? Yeah, Kog'Maw's just like a really high win rate character because he's got a lot of good duo pairings, like the Melios and the Lulus.
Yeah.
That basically, if we're talking about transmogged, you get transmogged into a Tyrannosaurus Rex if you lock in Kog'Maw and have a Lulu. It's awesome. But yeah, he's good for OTPs. Like the people that do play Kog'Maw in BLA are Kog'Maw players. Not many people just play it randomly. He has a shittest passive in the game. Unless you're using it really intentionally to one for one and then passive the wave to get it into tower. That's kind of cool. But yeah, he's just insanely outdated, and you're probably better off picking most other hyper carries and don't get gaslit by the win rate. Honestly, the Kog'Maw win rate is such an enigma. I don't know where it comes from, other than maybe the duos. That's all because it is the highest win rate, like normal AD carry on every patch, basically, except, as well as Nilah. And I'm pretty sure it's just from duos, because this champ fundamentally should not be that strong. I don't know.
So if it didn't have those champions, yeah, it just wouldn't be that good.
If you play it without the pairings, he's probably F tier. With the pairings, he could be A tier. So,
what do you think, Praedyth? Have you coached much Kog'Maw players?
No, he has a cool dance though.
Cool dance.
Yeah, sick dance. I think that's his laugh, but like he kicks in the air and he's just going crazy. I love his dance.
Yep.
Yeah.
Especially with the Monarch skin. That's the best Kog'Maw skin for everyone.
It's a nice skin, yeah. He has nice skins though. Pretty butterfly. Love that guy.
So common mistakes with Kog'Maw. Maybe
no, there are no mistakes with Kog'Maw. No one plays it.
Okay,
Moving on. Lucian.
Oh, classic.
This is Praedyth's champion.
So this is, I think this is a very, from my experience, playing solo queue and listening to people in the community, Lucian is a very misunderstood champion.
In what way you reckon?
In a way of people don't know how to play.
Nathan, no. Translation, I lose games with Lucian on my team. Please justify my teammates' behaviors. That's literally what he means.
That, yes.
Yeah.
So what
are they doing wrong?
What are they doing wrong? Because Lucian as well is an awesome champion.
Yeah. So there's a few things.
Awesome design.
If we're going to dash in lane, so Lucian's like Jhin in a way where you want to short trade, right? But people just dash and then so actually, we have like fucking
diagrams.
Like Lucian with Nami, and then bot lane here, and then Lucian like dashes here, and then he's just getting like just absolutely destroyed by the bot lane, right? So he's just 1v2ing there for like 4 seconds.
Oh, that's
Lulu,
because
before
most support
Nami.
champions, no one can catch up to
exactly.
you. Yeah, okay.
And it's like, why am I losing this? Like what the fuck? Why am I losing this? And then I'm like, well, your Nami is literally off the screen. Like she can't help. Like you're 1v2ing. Like, what are you expecting here? So that you need to be in a short trade mindset too, for sure.
So again, people will be saying, well, but you say that, but why is my support still not walking up with me?
Because you have a dash and you're just dashing.
What do you want?
You know what I mean? Like,
Okay,
what are you expecting? Like, not only is he behind you, but then you also dash. So it's like,
Well, they want you to go in first. Like, go in first, I'll follow up.
tell them or ping. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I was going to say, like, people just don't wait for the enemy to last hit minions before trading.
That's
They're
true.
trying to trade on the enemy when they're 2 screens away. You shouldn't need to dash forward to start a Lucian trade. But the best Lucian trades start with an auto. Auto E, auto Q, Or like W from a bush, then auto attack, then E,
Yeah, facts.
But yeah, the reason as well is because people are dashing forward when the enemy have their fucking spells up. But Lucian is a short trading champion that needs to take proactive trades. So he needs to do a concept which AD carries blow at, but is incredibly fundamental to playing mid lane and top lane, which is cooldown-based trading, right? When the enemies have no spells, I can then go take a trade. That doesn't really happen in bot lane all too frequently, but in top lane and mid lane, that's literally all you do. Like the Syndra wastes the QE, awesome. Now I can posture aggressively and go for my Ahri combo, right? But in bot lane, if I'm versing like a mage with Lucian and the mage uses spells on the wave, now I'm dashing forward in your face and doing whatever the fuck, and I don't care if my army's behind me. But if I'm doing it when they have all their spells, then obviously you're just going to get stat checked. So that's the main thing I see with Lucian.
What about translating leads in mid game with Lucian?
Yeah, so there's a few things for sure. Firstly is, again, you're kind of like, you're playing an AD carry, so you're going to get hit and it's going to hurt. So they're playing like in the fight, at the start of the fight. They're not waiting for the fight to start. They're in the start of the fight. You do still need to wait for the fight to start and join it. You can't be in the explosion that happens. You can't be getting hit by a Talia E or a
Frontlining.
Exactly. Frontlining. Thank you. Well said, because I was kind of being around the bush there. And then another thing is that they will just press their ult, especially when their abilities are up. Right? But your
They
ult...
piss it out, Nathan.
Yeah.
They piss it out.
Yeah, that's what I
They
said.
think, oh my god, what do I do? They start blasting. Like the fucking Frank Reynolds meme where you start blasting people. That's what they do.
100%.
I think what it is as well is that it's just fun to use. They just want an excuse to use it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
It's more fun to use than your normal rotation.
Yeah,
and
of
you're also
course.
very
Yeah.
safe with it.
Yeah,
right?
it's so low
Yeah,
effort. Like,
yeah.
I'll just do that,
So
up to
people are
you.
lazy with Lucian.
Yes, very great.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah, and it scales so well into a fight, especially once the front line's dead. You're out of spells and there's a Caitlyn there. You can outrange a Caitlyn with your ult, but you're not going to be able to auto attack her unless she's like boosted, right? So, I mean, no offense, of course, unless she's mispositioning. So, like saving that ult for later on the fight, like when you're out of spells, now you can use your ult, and that's doing a lot of DPS. You're also waiting for your spells to come back up, but then also hitting the long range targets at the end of the fight.
Yeah, I was looking at a coaching session that one of our coaches, Marushko, did recently, where he was coaching a Lucian, and he showed a clip. I'll put the clip on the screen now. It's the classic 2016 double lift Lucian clip, where he does that exact thing, where he's auto-attacking the whole fight using spells, and then on the back end, he like ulties and just gets four kills right at the end of the fight and just wins his team the game because he held his ult. And he had so many opportunities to piss the ult out beforehand, but held it. So... definitely very important. Holding ults, Nathan, your favorite part of League of Legends.
Holding ults and abilities.
Do you want to address any
So
of these
exciting.
or just keep doing champs?
Yeah, let's just keep going champs. I said I was going to weave in general questions, but I'm having too much fun with these champions. So. Misfortune.
My favorite champion in the game.
Charles'
Kind
favorite
of.
champion in the game.
So what we were talking about Misfortune yesterday, right? And you said it's like playing League on easy mode, which really offended me. So can you please explain what that means?
I mean, it's like you're playing Jinx, but you're not playing Jinx. Like you're like, I'm back playing League after my 14-year vacation, so I'm gonna play MF. And she's a plug and play, right? And then, but she's also ult reliant. So it's, again, high-ish skill ceiling like Jinx, but definitely a lot of like rookie mistakes you can make. But there's also very easy to just kind of start right clicking, start ulting in big clumps, and that stuff's really easy to do. But yeah, a few misconceptions around how you're trading and how you're fighting. Maybe Charlie can dive a bit deeper into that because I don't really play her anymore.
Yeah, I guess as Lucian, it's funny we just talked about Lucian. Lucian Misfortune, people just want to press that R.
Yep, you
They're
got to
not
hold
patient
the
with
ult
it.
for sure. I think that's why Misfortune actually gets so many results in the lower ranks as well, is because people do just run into the ult. like a pack of chickens. They just run in, like clucking, getting hit by the ults, which is quite funny. But the higher up you go, the harder it is to land those big ults. But yeah, the biggest problems with MF is just people just
Clucking like chickens.
I'm thinking like in Chicken Run, you know? Anyway,
Okay.
yeah, people just don't trade proactively enough. They're obsessed with one thing and one thing only, which is getting a minion on 1 HP and then Q bouncing off it. But they don't do the Q bounce off the full HP minions. I can't look at you. And they don't Q the enemy champ. But some of the best trades with MF, when you walk up to the enemy and you just throw an auto attack plus Q on them, and you can stat check. No one can match you in that short trade, right? So. Yeah, people just need to do more in the early game, but you also kind of don't in the low ranks. It's an awesome chance to learn the roll through, especially if you come from another position, a roll swap, because she's more of an AD caster than an AD carry because she builds 0 attack speed. And she's just, what are they called? What do they call a champ when it's always good? Evergreen champion for the bot lane and gets a lot of LP. She's right behind Jinx in the LP getter category in Bot Lane Academy, so... Yeah, and like Mark said, I think they do. She does scale well in terms of the time you put into her. Like, yes, it can be plug and play, but also if you'll get really good at MF, you can dominate your lanes. You can make the opponent's life hell in the laning phase. Like, like if you blind pick like a hyper carry and then we pick an MF with a strong support, you're screwed. You know, you can't play your laning phase. Yep. So,
what about translating leads? Problems with that? Because I find my misfortunes could dominate lane, but then they ruin the game in the mid game.
Yeah, it's just no fight. Gameplay. You just have to be really cognizant of trading objectives. So my best misfortune games come from where I'm saying no to a dragon and then running around the map taking other things because she's the tempo terror is what we gave her the title of in BLA because you sprint around the map so quickly that you're so good at like cross mapping and you actually take towers pretty quickly if you know how to do the passive to auto attack a creep, then the tower, then the creep, constantly resetting your double tap. Yeah, there's quite a bit of nuance to it, honestly. But you can also play her at a service level too.
Yep. Agreed.
Okay, Nilah.
Hands off the keyboard. Don't know what this champ does.
Is Nilah just the niche pick? Can you there is one trick. Who's the Nilah player in
Enryu.
What do you think about Nilah and a lot of people want OTP Nilah?
Yeah, I mean, she's seeing a lot of play now with the crit changes because she got overlooked, which was really obvious. I want to say that. It was really obvious she was going to be good after the crit changes. But all good. So I'm seeing a lot more Nilah players. I think Nilah was a champ who you don't see much of her. And then when you do see her, you're getting cheesed by the level 3. That passive that gives you more experience. Just don't know why it's a passive, but like fair enough. And that's something that takes you off guard. You know, like they hit level 3 first. That's the most... I actually don't remember the last time I've seen a Nilah hit 3 and not get a kill. Because she just hit it first, right? Doesn't matter if she's pushed in or not. She's going to hit level 3 first. She's going to go in. That and then the W, especially since it works on the supports as well, and you can't hit the support. A lot of people commit to a fight. The Nilah holds the W, and then you get baited in, and you die, and they're 1 HP. So these things I think make Nilah just really frustrating. But now that she has more popularity, we're just finding out that she's just kind of broken.
Is she just good against melee comps though, or she can work versus range comps as well?
I mean, she works against like anything that's not AoE CC. So like, I don't like her against like Talia and Amumu, you know, Rel, things like this, who can like easily lock her down and counter engage her. But generally she works and she scales really well. She scales insane. Yeah.
So have you coached any?
Yeah.
Mistakes?
Yeah, it's just like
misconceptions.
Mainly they're going and they're blowing their load like instantly in a fight, and then they just get peeled off and people flash away. Just be a bit patient, be willing to hit frontline because you do absolutely demolish tanks because you have armor penetration, scaling off crit, which is really weird, and lifesteal. That champ is so overloaded actually, now I think about it. And then people don't hold their W as well. They just use it at the start of a fight. Make sure you're taking some damage first. Try to bait them in or just get more value from your lifesteal in your passive as well, right? Yeah.
And why... Well, I was going to say, why do people not really play? Like, what is its weaknesses? You know,
it's just like things like Caitlyn that really outrange and champions that can just force her to be still. So yeah, like Amumu and Talia is like really good because she is like her play pattern is she's going to flash in and she's going to ult someone, and if you're stuck in it, you will die.
Mm-hmm.
So any champ that can deal with that well is good. But like the aggressive champs like Lucian who want to dash forward, Corki, these champions, Yunara, they get absolutely shit on by Nilah because you dash into these like Nilah and she'll just win pretty much.
I think people just need matchup knowledge as well. Like,
Yeah.
Like I mean, you say Corki's bad into Nilah, but if the Corki just holds W and just plays quite defensively, it's actually a lane where you can survive it, right? Like, I think you need to just be able to disengage it. That's where people go wrong.
Yeah.
Is they try too hard to punish Nilah, and they don't punish for level 1. You didn't say it, but the weakness of Nilah is her level 1, right? She's dog shit. So you can literally reliably get a 3-wave crash into Nilah into base for Cull every single game because she has no ability. She's a melee champ, right? She's a melee champ who can't touch the wave level 1. And then you should try and snowball that advantage for the whole laning phase. And that's why no one really plays Nilah as frequently, is because she does have such a bad level 1. And if you burst like a range support and they tether well, it's really bad. But it's like, it's interesting. What you said at the start was like, that Nilah will always get a kill at level 3. And it's because it's the beautiful, Nilah is the beautiful combination of like an unpopular champion, so you don't see them very often, and it has an inherently cheesy kit. So a cheesy kit plus you don't see it often equals it will kill you every time, right? That's why it works in solo queue and why the win rate is always so high.
Agreed.
All right, next champion. We've got Nilah and Samira are literally right next to each other. Samira. Is Samira just a niche pick?
It's very similar to Nilah, right?
Yeah, except I would say she can brute force level 3. It's the same thing. Level 3, you need to make sure you've punished her, got her to half HP, make it so she can't fight, take a bad recall.
Mm-hmm.
That should be your game plan. But in my experience and what I watch, Samira is just always going to get kills, and then she snowballs harder than any other champ in the game.
Yeah, harder snowballing
So
champ.
I think the champion, especially with the crit changes, really, really good right now.
Do you like playing with Samira? Because it's kind of interesting. She's like, she can snowball, but I'm going to predict you enjoy playing with Samira.
No, I don't.
Oh.
Because
Never mind. Suits the narrative again.
Yeah, because I'm way more comfortable in like peeling my carries and scaling.
Yeah, you want
I want
Sivers and Kaisers and Yunaras
Yeah,
and stuff like
correct,
this,
yeah.
right? Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Alright.
So, Samira's trying to win the game herself. I'm trying to.
You want soldiers. You want units.
Yeah,
on your
I
team.
want people who I can
predictable
support.
units.
Predictable, who I can like support. But Samira just goes off on her own, and it's like, the game's on her. So, you said that Nilah and Samira are useful, Praedyth. Sorry, similar.
Yeah.
Do you have one that you would like just pick Nilah or go pick Samira, or do they have something different between them?
Yeah, I mean, Nilah's a bit more about your level timings. And I think there's a tiny bit more thought when it comes to Nilah, whereas Samira, it's like, I'm going to flip this fight. If I win, you lose. If I lose, I lose. That is the game. The game will be flipped, normally level 3. And then it's like, okay, now we're going to, if she's ahead, maybe we can gank her. If not, she's just going to completely snowball out of control. So, I think it's a bit more one-dimensional when it comes to Samira. Decently hard to play, I guess, in a way, but very one-dimensional how she wants to play.
So you would say Samira is easier to play than Nilah in general, you think?
Yeah. I mean, they're both hard to play and easy to play because they're both really simple, but their kits are kind of hard and not very intuitive.
Yeah, I think Samira, the main thing I see people making mistakes on is not as unintentional W usage on Samira. Like that champ is just broken. If you can W key spells on the enemy team and get your S stack really fast, it's going to be really good. But if you just use your W for damage incorrectly, or you mistime it blocking something like a Nautilus hook, then
get stacks. Yeah,
you just die.
Yeah,
you die.
It's definitely, that's what I mean. It's not intuitive because people just dash in and use their spells and press alt, and then it's like, okay, but what if we just did that at the end of a fight instead of at the start where everyone has their spells?
Wait for the explosion and then go forwards. You're actually kind of like old school Katarina. Samira.
Facts. Yeah.
Very Katarina.
Pentacle fucking printer.
Yes, exactly right. Yeah. We don't have many Samira players. We have one Samira player who's actually Nico. Shout out to Nico. Nico has basically written the Samira manifesto in the Nico channel at Bolade Academy. Literally essays upon essays about Samira. So
You mean the Samira channel?
did I say Samira
You
channel?
said Nico channel.
Oh, it's because his name's Nico. Yeah, Samira channel. So yeah, if you want to look at that, go for it.
All right, Senna. Now, Senna was really popular last year. I remember Gunkrab really enjoyed Senna. Is Senna nerfed? No longer a ADC bot lane champ?
No, you can play her. She's in a good spot right now, actually. It's just I don't really know why no one plays her. Actually, she's in a decent spot. Like, there's nothing wrong with Senna. It's like you're playing a mage, pretty much.
She's a bit of a snooze fest, no?
I actually think she's the funnest champion in the game. I just don't play her because
So why don't you play her?
And there it is. and there it is.
Just proven it.
In a way, you're like a mage where you're kind of a passenger, where you can't really solo carry the game. You scale up like pretty well with levels in a way, but you're not really gonna be able to 1v9 a game like you can with Yunara and Lucian and these champs.
That would explain why we beat C9 at MSI. He played Senna in that game.
Yeah, they actually told me
I'm just
that
jamming it back at him.
they actually told me that they researched me so much and they saw that I didn't play Senna, and they were like, all right, we've done 55 hours of research on Praedyth. He won't be able to be good at it. And then I played and I was the goat. Literally the best. So anyways, it's a little side tangent.
That was Senna Tom. The old school Senna Tom.
Yeah, but honestly, like, I don't see enough Senna to comment. I just know that she's in a decent spot. If you like playing Senna, you should play her. But if you want to carry games, there's better champs to play.
Farming or fasting?
Farming, yeah.
Farming.
So Senna, I mean, obviously you don't really probably coach much, but from because you're the goat of Senna, what do people make mistakes typically? Maybe Sennas that you play against.
Honestly, I feel like, honestly, I pretty much feel like it's a champ that is so like easy to play, and you can't make that many mistakes. The mistakes I see is like not willing to walk up, especially once you get rapid fire cannon, and look for those like the poke damage, and not just like ulting off your W, for example, because that does so much damage. And the ulting off your Q, stuff like that. Like that, if you hit like a 5-man Q ult, that's doing like 5k damage. Like, yeah, actually, it's doing like 10k damage, actually. So, yeah, and shielding everyone.
Yeah, so it's another classic champion where you need to be more aggressive, probably, for most people, rather than bring it back. Most center players aren't too aggressive.
Yeah, 100%.
But we do have one mentor, Johnny, who was way too aggressive on center from time to time, but I think he's the outlier. Yeah, just people don't pick it.
Sivir. Charlie, you like a lot of Sivir. Have you played with Sivir, Praedyth?
Yeah, we both love Sivir, I think.
Love Sivir.
All right, so do you recommend people to play Sivir in the Botlane Academy?
Yeah, 100%. She might be my number one recommendation. I think she's... I mean, her Jinx, Sivir, and Smolder are the holy trinity of like winning video games as an AD carry. And I think Sivir might be the easiest of the three. Because there are certain things you can do in lane to just at least neutralize every single matchup, because up until a certain point, people won't walk you off the wave. And the idea with Sivir is if you can auto attack the wave and start pushing it with W, they will never get you off it. But if they never let you get on the wave in the first place, then you're screwed. But obviously in most solo queue games, no one knows this. People don't have the matchup knowledge. So you can basically neutralize every matchup just by pressing W and bashing waves and then recalling first, getting into your essence. And then once you've got essence, the game is really easy to play because you nuke every mid wave. Dealing damage in team fights is just the easiest thing in the world because you can just turn W on, hit the closest target, and you damage everyone. And your ulti is very useful. And the spell shield is just so broken. So yeah, I mean, it's just such a good champ. Such a good champ. The only weakness is the short range, and that only starts getting exploited in the ultra high ranks. So we actually looked at this yesterday. Like Caitlyn would be regarded as quite a good matchup into Sivir because you outrange them, but Sivir has a better win rate in the Caitlyn matchup because no one can actually utilize the range advantage.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, pretty much just to piggyback off what he said, I'll always tell people, like, walk up before the wave. If Sivir wants to hit the wave, you hit Sivir. Sivir won't beat you if you're hitting each other. As like a lot of champs won't be able to will beat Sivir if you're just hitting her. But they wait for the wave. Sivir starts hitting the wave. Now they lose push. They freak out. They get pushed in. And so I tell them, I say, walk up with the wave. And I feel like it's a really hard concept for people to understand because once you start losing that push, it feels like in game, it just feels really like daunting. So I have to show people it done, and then sometimes they do it themselves, sometimes they fail at it. But yeah, I mean, as Charlie said, like Sivir should not win Caitlyn, but I see a lot of people will be like, how do I play Caitlyn into Sivir?
Yeah,
it's so hard. And I'm like,
that's the mod mindset.
Yeah,
right?
that's the mod mindset.
Yeah.
So coaching Sivir's guys, what's the problems? What are What are people, or does everyone win games with Sivir once you start learning how to play Sivir properly?
A lot of mid-game stuff with Sivir. I feel like the laning phase, if you watch our guide, is fairly straightforward. So people generally do a pretty good job at getting to mid-game on Sivir, and then we can just get into the details around, like, are we making good decisions around neutral objectives? How are we playing our team fights? How
More
are we
fundamental stuff.
How are we using our E? Yeah, just fighting. People, like, yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, it's just a very, like, basic champ where the learnings are less around champ mastery and more about the role of AD carry, is what I find.
And Sivir, what's the popularity of Sivir? You say you recommend it. Do people actually pick it up, or is it?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
They do. Okay,
Sure.
People think she's a bit boring as well.
Yeah, that's what I find.
But I mean, they get results with it.
A lot of these ADC champions, there actually hasn't been that many ADC champions introduced in the game. I feel like there's a lot of old
Recently,
school
there's
ones on
been
here.
Smolder, Yunara, Zeri,
Nilah, Samira.
Nilah. I mean, Nilah and Samira, are they that
They're
new?
quite old, right?
My fault.
Showing our age a little bit
My
here.
fault, Shit.
Speaking of new champions, do you have something else for Sivir?
Yeah. So people definitely struggle against like high progressive lanes for sure. Because they auto push the wave, they walk up against Samira and Nautilus and they die. Just don't be afraid to just hold the wave at your tower, even though you're playing Sivir. Just be dealing damage to them like that. Poke them down a bit, and then you can push in. And then in mid game stuff for sure, just kind of playing again in the explosion of the team fight, with your team pressing E, thinking you're, a tank like Sion, but you're playing Sivir, so you're just gonna get one shot. Those two things I think are the main issues I see.
You also need a skin to play Sivir. The base Sivir skin blows.
Again, that's why an old champion.
Yeah.
So speaking of new champions now, Smolder. You're a Smolder absolute enthusiast, Charlie. I'm going to start with you, Praedyth. What do you think about Smolder? Teaching and playing. Let's start with you teaching Smolder.
Teaching, so I mean, people just are a bit clueless, I would say, when it comes to like we want to be stacking and we want to be short trading. We don't want to be doing neither of them. And we definitely want to be doing both. Like we get stacks from short trading, and we also win our lane from short trading. So we should short trade.
So why do people not short trade? Because I'm sure a lot of people know that.
Because they want to stack.
I see. So they're getting too greedy with the stacking.
Yeah, and then or there's people that want to join fights and not stack, and then got no stacks.
And that's because they feel the need to contribute to their team, otherwise they get flamed.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's a classic. And yeah, so a lot of the time they're joining fights where Smolder you got to say no, like Caitlyn for sure. And then playing Smolder, I honestly hand on my heart never played this champion. Looks so boring. Like
You've never played Smolder.
like why am I playing this like Disney ass fucking champ? Like, I don't really get it.
How to Train a Dragon.
It's like
Deeply
straight from
offensive.
Disney Channel.
I love Disney Channel. So Smolder's the best champ in the game, pretty much. If you want to win games, just lock it in, honestly.
I love Smolder, mate. Smolder is the ultimate. I would never lose a game with
yes,
Smolder.
I mean, he is really strong. But yeah, so the thing with Smolder, right, is the misconception people have about Smolder is that he cannot win lanes. He can absolutely win lanes. I pretty much go this. I've tested everything. I've tested the PTA. I've tested the fleet footwork. I've tested Comet. I've tested all this stuff. Comet is so underrated on Smolder, and you can win lane in this champion. If you have really good W usage, people blow at the W. It's the slowest moving ability in the game, but if you use it reactively when the enemies come into you or to punish last hits, you just get a free stack, apply your Comet, chunk them to half HP, not half HP, chunk them by quite a lot of HP, and you can land your Q on using the slow of the W. You can win a lot of lanes.
Dude, the W usage is horrendous.
Oh, it's the worst part of a Smolder reviews. Yes, people need to really step it up.
Crazy.
Especially because a lot of the champions that counter Smolder or do well into him are like all-in based champions. Like I see a lot of Vayne is quite good into Smolder in the lower ranks. Even Kai'Sa can chase you down the lane. But if you hold W until they come and trade into you and then just pivot at them and run away, so broken, really broken. Also, people queue minions too much. Like, you want to be balancing stacking off minions with holding your Q to trade on the enemy. Like, queuing an enemy gives you a stack as well, guys. So, and if you queue a minion, you give the enemy a trading window. They can then trade onto you because you have no Q. So you want to hold that a little bit more than you think. And just understanding that most of your stacks will actually come from the mid game. You don't need to leave lane with a disgusting amount of stacks. You can just have okay stacks after lane. You rock up into mid wave. You need to know how to get 6 stacks per wave. Farm jungle camps and fire spells at enemies with your rapid fire cannon later on, and you're going to get a shit ton of stacks. So don't you want to stack, but you also want to hit the enemy. Right, that's where people mess up. They just roll over and die and just lose every lane, from what I see. But yeah, some people get a lot of success with Smolder. I see most people get success with Smolder. There's just that bit of learning curve at the start because he's the opposite of Sivir. Sivir is like the fundamental AD carry. Smolder is pure champ mastery. You're basically playing the mini game, the side game of League of Legends Smolder Edition on Disney Channel at 3 p.m. after lunch. You know, that's how you win games of Smolder. You do it very specifically and in his way. It's like his way or the highway. That's my manifesto on
All right,
Smolder.
I love it. I have no more response. That's a very good rant, Charlie. Very passionate rant. You love Smolder.
Yeah, I wouldn't have expected that, but I like cycling. I'm going to cycle through all champions one day. I mean, we're going to be sitting here in like 15 years, and I'll have literally ranted about every champ in the game.
Thank God Sejuani's done.
Well, we'll see. We can always go back.
Tristana. I forget this champion existed.
Do you play Trist?
No.
I-
She's so boring.
She's boring. What
So
champion?
why is every champion? You're saying every champion is boring here, Praedyth.
She's so
But
one-dimensional.
don't you jump on people's heads? Isn't that fun? And you explode them?
Yeah,
And
but like,
blow up towers?
what if you jump and then you lose? It's like
It
what?
probably feels pretty bad to do.
Yeah,
really
what
random
else can you
review.
do?
It's a fast
Like, if
review.
you're losing a game as Tristana, you're getting pushed in, you're CSing on a tower with your E passive, you can't all in. It's literally, I would rather have just not played.
The game, okay. It's
Yeah,
that
I
bad.
would rather
it's
have
like
just not queued
torture.
up.
It's like walking on glass.
And then you can't do wave. It's like Draven, where you can't do wave management, but you're a bit weaker and you scale better. So I'd rather just play Draven at that point, right? And yeah, I mean, it's just, I don't like recommending the champ at all because you can't practice fundamentals properly as Tristana because a lot of the time it's like, can I all in here or not? And then, yeah, you can't freeze. You can't slow push as easy. I just, mid game's a bit interesting for sure. But I feel like the jump's like so slow. I just don't like it.
Just feels clunky.
Yeah, clunky kit, in my opinion.
What do you mean by the mid game's interest in?
Oh, it's just like because like you don't need a slow push anymore. You don't need a freeze. You don't need a jump in. You start like having more range and you can play like a traditional AD carry, but a bit more aggressive.
You're shoving waves you're talking about in the mid
Yeah,
game.
and you're like, you're just playing team fights and it's like a bit more fun. I can't get through that laning
the
phase.
lane phase is just too much.
Yeah.
Any Tristana players in the Bot Academy? Do people actually mention Tristana
The
at all?
Soup, he's a newly master player playing Tristana. Actually,
wow.
so congrats
Trist
to him.
gets results.
Why?
Trist gets results because it gets kills.
He gets kills in
Well,
the lane phase.
So Praedyth's talking about playing Tristana in 1k LP Challenger where you're going to get pushed in and can't jump on people. But in the average solo queue game, trust me guys, you can jump on people's heads and kill them. Tristana is the champion that teaches threat assessment more than any other champion in the game. You're correct that she doesn't teach many other fundamentals, but she does teach threat assessment, right? Really, really well.
which is a very important skill for AD carries.
Yes, many Corki players bench Corki, pick up Tristana, insta-win games. Like Giorgio made the climb to Diamond for the first time with Tristana. John actually made the climb to Gold first time with Tristana. He already said Soup made the climb to Master with Trist. Like a lot of people get a lot of results on the champ. But yeah, you basically need to center your reviews for at least the first 50 games around how do I W forward and kill people. And if you can do that, it's awesome. It's a great champ. Gets a lot of kills. You just need to pick your window as well.
2v2, like all in knowledge has to be better than pretty much any other champ.
Yep, for sure. Because if you don't W forward, like you said, you're going to want to like pull your eyeballs out. It's very boring.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, Twitch, another Charlie champion.
Yeah, I love Twitch. Twitch is fantastic.
So Twitch.
People get results on Twitch too, actually, because he's just a champ mastery champ, you know. I've Twitched you earlier in the year. I remember one game.
I remember you versed Twitch and went 1-10.
Wow.
Yeah, I was playing mid. I was on a Smurf and I was like,
I versed the Twitch when 1-10.
yeah, you did.
Praedyth only
He
ruins
was playing
your failures.
Aphelios. He was like 1-10 in 15 minutes. It was so disgusting.
Oh yeah, no, I
was
actually
really
was. Yeah,
disgusting,
but that's
yeah.
why I shouldn't be picking
He's like-
Aphelios, right?
Yeah.
But you played Kai'Sa into my Twitch, and I was doing really well.
Oh yeah, but I burger flipped it.
You did burger flip it, but who
And I
won the
lost.
burger flip?
You, because you're a better flipper.
Better flipper.
Yeah.
All right, coaching Twitch.
Yeah.
What do you think? What are some mistakes, some narratives around Twitch? Is Twitch that same champion as Draven with the hard style, like, and the clicking and like with ult and, when you have the attack speed?
Could someone gift that, please? That's awesome.
I mean, there's like Twitch players, they play the game differently than, it's similar to Smolder, but I think a little bit more exaggerated they want to play the game how they want to play the game. And a lot of time I say just wait till level 6. You're using your ultimate whenever you can.
Yep.
If you can get your Q and your ultimate onto someone, you'll pretty much win the duel. And then you're looking to cheese them on the mid wave and the mid game, etc. But then I coach these one tricks, and they're just doing it from like level 1, and they're flipping it, and they win sometimes. They don't win sometimes.
This is Sean, probably. Or is this
Sean, yeah, but it's just like there's a lot of them actually.
Yeah.
There's you one I coached, Brug. He plays Twitch, and he was flipping it, and he was winning, and I'm like, I feel like you should just be waiting. Yeah, I mean,
no, these guys know something we don't. I'm pretty sure. There's something about like the PTA Twitch with the sudden impact setup where you can win trades. Like
it's actually the only champion I feel like I'm going to the coaching session for. Like they're teaching
I
me
feel the same. They know something we don't with the kill threat for sure.
I'm like, oh, okay,
interesting. You learn stuff.
Like I think because I verse it right, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do this, and I win right because I'm sticking to what I think. And then they come in and they show me, oh, actually, no, you can actually do this. You can run sudden impact and just hit people for 500, level 1, like for fun, one auto attack. And I'm like, okay. So honestly, just go to the people who play Twitch for the coaching.
We don't know what we're talking about for Twitch.
Yeah.
No, but look, there are some really good fundamentals of Twitch. So Twitch does play the champion in a very unique way, as Praedyth said. The key things for Twitch is we need to be flanking as much as humanly possible. You actually don't really want to front to back of Twitch too much. The best thing to do is, he's the ultimate champion, actually, of waiting for the explosion of the fight to start and then popping out of stealth on the back line and eviscerating them.
Yep.
Pure ulti-based champion. If you're fighting without your ult, you're kind of trolling, unless you're one of those Twitch OTPs, like we said. Yeah, just constant kill threat, right? Like knowing how to use the stealth mechanic. Always, you play like an assassin for the entire game, basically. Killing side laners, killing mid laners on mid wave. Although that's a bit less useful at the moment because waves are so fast. I'm finding less opportunities to push out and roam mid. Last year it was a bit more popular.
My biggest advice for Twitch players that actually works, because the Twitch one trick struggle at it, is if you're starting Dragon or Baron and you're not going to finish it because they're going to contest, then you don't hit the Baron or Dragon. You play off, you hit stealth, you let the fight start, and then you join in on the fight. A lot of the time I see them hitting the Baron, they get engaged
They're
on.
just dead. Yeah, if I'm playing Jarvan versus that Twitch, I see him hitting the Baron, like that's the easiest kill ever.
Yeah. And like it's more so on the whole team to play around a Twitch, you know, like the engage starts. If you're versing a Twitch, when the engage starts, then you shouldn't actually press your buttons until you see the Twitch pretty much. And then you said, you know, you drive an ult, you find the Twitch, you normal
Don't tell
assault
people
him.
this. This is terrible. I'm going to die more.
I hate Twitch.
If I see the enemy J4 holding his EQ until I'm out of stealth, I will not play the game. I'll go farm a sideway. You know, like I can't play.
I'm going to Discord with my 5 teammates if I see Twitch on the enemy team, and I'm going to tell everyone how to play against Twitch.
Yeah, because he's right, but no one does that in solo queue.
Yeah,
Everyone blows their load and then
Because
because
like they're blowing it on the Leona, and then the Twitch comes and pentakills.
Dude,
so
even if people do know that, people are still going to blow their loads. Like that's League of Legends and that's solid. It's like
junglers,
yeah, especially junglers. Yeah.
Yep. The Volibear runs in and cues the Nash or something.
EQ, no, EQ's like the least in on, you know, it just
awesome.
dies. All right, next up, we've got Varus. Now, this is going to be a hot topic, I think, here.
I have nothing to say.
You have nothing to say.
Nothing good to say. If I speak, I'll be in big trouble.
And Praedyth thinks on hit Varus is the worst champion behind.
I hate Varus. I hate Varus players.
Wow.
I hate.
So you guys will be happy to remove it from the game.
I actually like. I like Varus players, but my issue with Varus is that he sucks because he's good in lane. But even if he snowballs lane, you're playing on hit. If you're playing on hit Varus, you're snowballing lane, and then you're just going to die because you're short range, no real peel besides your ult. And yeah, I mean, I think if you're playing on hit Varus, you're just like losing when you should be playing something else. If you're playing Varus, you're defaulting to Comet every game, and you're only not doing Comet if you want to do AP and on hit build in the game. But it should be over 50% of the games on Comet Varus if you're playing Varus. And that, to me, I'm not trying to play that. So, I mean, and like if you do want to play Comet Varus, like go ahead. It's kind of like a mage in a way. But it's just not really something I want to do.
Would it just be better to actually pick a proper mage champion at that point?
I mean, it depends. Depends on your team comp. If you need attack damage, then Varus is... I mean, like lethality Varus is good, for sure. And he plays like a mage. He is a mage. So it's not... It's like you're comparing mages at that point. And he is, you know, AD. He has a strong ultimate. He has a strong all-in. He's strong early game. So there's a lot of reasons to play Varus. Lethality. In my opinion, there's just not a lot of reasons to play the other versions of Varus right now in the bot lane. And that's where he sucks.
AP Varus is like flavor of the month, right? That's like the most popular thing.
Well, people want it's mid. Isn't it more popular mid now?
And top, yeah,
And
like
top.
Riftmaker Varus, like what is he? He goes Hexplate third and then builds tanky after that, right? Like that Varus is like I think he was just a bit overtuned, right? He got nerfed.
Yeah, you can't play that. You need the stats and the levels from the
The
top.
soul lanes, yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, because
I see.
you are just like a tank, and it is insane how tanky he is. But you don't get that from playing ADC.
That makes sense.
And you don't use the gold like heaps well.
Yeah.
So you'd much rather just play a top. Top, it's a different topic. I think it's like disgusting. It's like pretty abhorrent. Like it doesn't really make sense. But AD carry is
like a
good.
normal top laner. You play like Renekton or something. You rock up top lane. You're versing a Varus. Like, oh god.
Yeah,
like, it's so painful.
It's disgusting for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, he's just the classic champ you would dislike. He's the win lane, lose game champion.
Yeah, that's
right.
right,
Regardless of what build you go, even with the comment. I mean, I literally tried to make a Varus game guide last year. Dropped like 40, 50 games on a champ with like a 40% win rate. Failed
just
to make the
couldn't make it,
guide
mate.
and just didn't do it.
Yeah, couldn't make it work.
Just couldn't do
That's
it.
actually too funny.
No, I'll own up to it. I just couldn't win the game. And I was like, well, if I can't do it, I can't tell someone else how to do it, can I? So I'll
Respect.
just,
Yeah.
I'm going to make you do it now so you can enjoy
On
that.
my Smurf.
So yeah, look, I
In
mean,
gold.
like those YouTubers that play in gold for sure.
Yeah.
But no, Varus is just, I just don't think he's very popular either. He's
You guys
just
like Coach Varus's?
nah, not really.
There's one or two, but
I think he's just so easy to play in lane as well. Just throw out an Eve, do a couple of autos, fire a Q, ulti them if they come in range, and then lose the game. Get it off.
yeah.
All right, next.
Yeah.
Next champion. I mean, is
No
Vayne,
offense.
Vayne another one of these? Vayne ADC.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not interesting.
Is
for
this
sure.
just a counter pick?
I think
Last
Vayne,
pick, you know, your favorite last
What do you
pick.
think? You
Lock
go
in a
with Vayne.
Vayne.
Yeah. I mean, Vayne has flexible builds now, so she can do 2 builds, which is nice. You're probably still doing it on hit more often than not, but being able to flex 2 builds and, you know, being able to change your identity, you can play over Lulu and be more of a hyper carry 1v9er, or you can be more of a side lane in some games. You have a Xerath mid or something. It's pretty flexible. I think, you know, Vayne's probably not even in like my bottom 10 champs I'd recommend, to be honest. The issue with Vayne and the issue with coaching, and I don't know about Charlie, but the reason I don't like coaching Vayne that much is because you just don't get push. Like, I mean, you can get push, but you just don't do it fast. And so you don't have a lot of options in the game in terms
More
of like...
reactive. Too reactive.
Yeah, and then a lot of time it's kind of about like finding all-in windows at 6.
Yep.
And then, you know, a lot of threat assessment, sometimes hard laning and things. It's a bit unique for sure, but I think I don't think it's a bad champ. Not a bad champ to play at all.
Yeah, you just literally can't fix a wave to save a life. Like literally, you get a kill as Vayne in lane, and you want to push the wave into a tower and reset. You can't. You have to base on a spot. Like she says, lacks wave clear is what really defines her. If you pick her in good spots, she'll be fine. She's another champion where if you pair her with like an enchanter, she's going to be way better. You need to have good killer instincts on Vayne. Know when to 1v1 people. Know when to just R tumble stat check people, because you do get a BF sword when you press R. So yeah, she's just got very clear strengths and weaknesses, I think. But she's just a bit outdated, I think. She's good when she's good, but she's not like a staple hyper carry, you know?
Yeah.
A good litmus test for whether Vayne is in a good place is like, does Vayne win the Sivir matchup? And I would say at the moment, no. Like, Sivir's just going to push you in. It's going to be really annoying. So, but you know, in the past, Vayne would shit on Sivir and just absolutely obliterate it. So,
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. I think if you're really good at Vayne, and you'll find the windows, right?
yeah.
But it's just another champ like Kai'Sa who just can't be pushed. You can't be pushed in as Vayne, really, unless you're all inning, which you need to pretty much wait till level 6 to do that, anyways. So, yeah, I mean, Vayne's cool.
People need to short trade more on Vayne as well. Like that
Oh,
Q
yeah.
plus auto trade
100%.
is really strong. And that's actually a good point. So the build for Vayne at the moment is what, Stormrazor Essence
Yeah, that or just on hit.
or just on it. Yeah, that's true. You can just do the normal on hit build. But like, especially if you're doing the Stormrazor Essence build, or I think with both builds, like, doesn't most of your damage just come from Q these days?
Yeah, in lane for sure. It's the same thing
Yeah.
as Lucian, where and what's his name, Jhin. In a way, I'm just looking at their trade patterns early, because you need to be Q autoing, or you need to be auto Q autoing.
Yep.
Or you need to be all inning. 1, 2, 3. You're doing one of those 3 things. If I ever see you auto attack someone twice or 4 times or 5 times, I'm like, what are you doing? It just doesn't make sense to me. It's like you're trying to fit a square into a circle. It doesn't make sense. So people need to be making more sense.
Coaching Vayne players.
I think
Yep,
I
that
think
was
I've
it.
touched on that enough,
It's
honestly.
trades.
Yeah.
They don't find the good all-in windows, and they don't trade. They don't short trade properly. Team fighting is actually usually fine. If
Yeah.
people commit with Vayne, they're pretty good at fighting usually.
Yeah. one last thing. It's just in general as well. Another champ you just don't want to buy attack speed boots on. Actually, I should have said it, but like you don't want to buy attack speed on a lot of these champs. Attack speed boots are fraudulent, and you'd rather be buying combat boots because a lot of time you're dueling, you're going forward.
Which champs do you not buy Berserker Greaves on?
Yunara hasn't touched it. Vayne.
You didn't even put Yunara on the list.
I
Nathan.
must have missed.
Oh, how many others have we missed? Oh
Jeez.
no!
No, just Yunara. Trust me.
Generally, like if you're not building crit on your first item, you don't want to buy attack speed boots because they are very fraudulent. So even like Varus, Kalista, these champions, you'd rather just not have attack speed boots. Think about like the gold efficiency on attack speed boots compared to ninja tabbies, and it's the same gold efficiency.
Plated steel caps.
Yeah,
Thank you.
sorry, but plated steel caps. My bad. Get the 10% like reduction on the auto attacks, right? So it's like we're not getting any compensation from Berserker Reeves. They absolutely suck. I don't know why they're so bad. So you shouldn't be buying them on.
Because they feel good, dude. Feels good to hit more.
Yeah, for sure. But
That's why
like
people
you
build
look at any champion's win rate. I know it might be fraudulent looking at the win rate, but just buy. Yeah, if you're investing in Twitch, buy tabbies.
It does feel good. Even champs like Jhin. Tabbies on Jhin versus champs like Twitch feels very good.
Yeah. It's like it's a must have.
All right, Xayah.
Oh,
What do we think about Xayah? I actually played recently a game with, I think it was Violet's Xayah, and absolutely, it just made the champ look like the best champ in the entire game versus low, like melee champs with people that come into them.
let me tell you a funny story. Actually,
Okay.
I was supporting Violet.
Wait, was that
as,
game?
No, it's a different game. I was
okay.
supporting him, and he was like 20 kills. And I was like, damn, this is a free win. And
As
he's-
Xayah?
Yeah, he's versing Victor, Jace, and then we lost the game in 5 minutes, and he's like legit 10-0. But he's just versing. You verse
It's
Jace,
just
Victor,
impossible.
you can't win.
Okay.
Violet made the Xayah guide, by the way. Mobile Academy.
Oh,
Well, me and him.
yep.
Yeah.
Mostly him.
I played it yesterday as well, and it was a good game for Xayah, and I didn't carry because my team was carrying me as well, but I was a menace for sure.
You were useful.
Yeah.
So I want to caveat this again because if you high elo players talking about when Xayah is good or bad, I swear in most ranks it's actually completely fine just to pick Xayah. Like you still want to play to that narrative of let people come into you and have it so like you're versing short range champs. But if you are a Xayah player in like platinum or gold and you just want to play Xayah every game, it's not that bad. It's fine. It's fine. The Victors and the Jaces of the world aren't going to always zone you out and play on their range, and you're going to have opportunities to hit someone. Like, how often do you actually verse a full range composition? You know,
Yeah, but that's where my issue happens with Xayah. So I feel like even in the good Xayah games right now, she can feel pretty hard to play.
right?
And that's where I think that she's a bit weak right now, actually. Because even in the games where she's Exodia, it feels like she's not that great. I think the Essence Reaver changes, and then the nerfs and the build path change, and then as well as just her ult cooldown being super long means that you kind of want to go Essence Reaver, but like you also want to go Yuntal. So she's just in a bit of a weird spot. I think as of the 13th of February 2026, I think she needs to be buffed a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, she's just not that strong, right? She's like I would rather play Sivir in those games where
Yeah.
I'm versing lots of short range champs, right?
Pretty much every time, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, next up is
Yunara. So Praedyth's the best Yunara in the world. He invented Yunara. He collaborated with Riot Games on making Yunara.
Really?
That's what I heard.
Yeah, I was I literally made the champion.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
So
everyone settle down here. This did not happen. Okay. So talk to me about your learning process actually then with Yunara. How did you figure out why did you just love Yunara that much? You just wanted to figure it out? Like why do you love Yunara so much?
they haven't made a fun AD carry since like Kai'Sa. So I was like, yeah, it's about time. Then I tried Yunara and I was like, damn, this champion's fun. So I kept playing her.
Did you struggle with Yunara initially?
No.
It just
'cause she was
instantly
OP
clicked.
at the start.
Okay, she was OP, yeah.
And she's also OP and she's also high yellow skewed. So she was OP and high like so
It's like your perfect combination.
it's
for
just
you.
for any high yellow player.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, for me, it was super easy to pick her up. There was definitely a lot of play testing with like different builds, different runes, but I feel like I know for a fact that, you know, I know everything about the champ. I know what's best for her and what's best for you if you play her, for sure. So yeah.
All right, so let's start spitting out
Rattle it
here.
off.
Narratives. how do you best to play? What do people ask
Let
you
me frame
about?
the discussion because Yunara is the lowest win rate AD carry in the game.
Way.
She's 48% winner in solo queue.
Way.
Even 47 at sometimes. And she's also one of the most popular.
Okay, yeah. So actually, what we can do is you can come with your Yunara game that you want to show me, and we can do a session right now. Okay. So we'll start from level 1.
Okay.
Okay. So you're walking bot. So why aren't you warding the bush? Okay. So now they're in the bush. Okay. The wave's coming in. Why haven't you hit the wave yet? Okay. You've given a bit of push. All right. They're in your auto attack range. You should start hitting them. Response. My Q's not activated yet. My response. I don't care. You start hitting them. Yeah. And then they get pushed in. They don't trade. And that's how every level 1 goes.
Yep.
But Yunara's actually, what should they actually do?
So what you should do, 15 seconds. Let's fucking beeline
Let's
to
go.
bot lane.
Yeah.
Let's get in there. Let's get in that bush. Ward it. If they want to, it depends on the lane, right? If you're versing like Kai'Sa Braum and you have like a Sona, you don't want to be like face checking, but you do want to fight over that bush. Wave comes in, hit it as it's coming in, not when it's in, as it's coming in. Start hitting it. Get the stacks ready. It's not that important though, so don't feel too pressured.
That's because you stack twice as fast when you hit champions.
Exactly.
So that's what people miss.
And yeah, 100%. So yeah, ward in the bush, wave coming in, I'm attacking it. They want to go into my auto attack range once. I'm going to click them, and then I'm going to click forward, and I'm going to click them. When my Q is activated, what I want to do, I'm going to click them, and then I'm going to press Q. 2 autos at once, lethal tempo, 2 stacks. Holy. So you're going to win the fight, right? Even against Draven without 2 axes, you'll win that fight.
No way.
It's pretty crazy.
Holy.
Yeah, and so...
Do people just not know this?
Yeah, people don't know it, 100%. This is every single Yunara session at the start. It's me just going on about the first pretty much wave or 2. Because if you're not getting push / if you're not fighting level 1 as Yunara, you're doing something wrong. I don't care what the matchup is, you're doing something wrong. Because when you press Q as well, you're going to have the best wave clear in the game. You're going to have the best all-in the game level 1. So there's really no excuse to not get pushed in the chain level 1.
Okay.
What's next?
What's next? Okay.
Level 2. No.
Level 2, we skill E. We should be skilling W. We just came off a Yunara game where we had a bunch of attack speed, so we throw it out. We're thinking it goes because it scale with attack speed, but they go and then they do it a few more times. They do no damage. They go and then
Are
they
they missing the W's, or are they just not doing enough damage with the W?
They're missing it because it's coming out slower.
That's right.
So they're not
because the projectile speed scales with your attack speed. That's why.
Exactly right. And then they get pushed under tower, and then the same thing with Kai'Sa. They get an all-in window and they don't use it.
Mm-hmm.
Things with Sivir as well. It's like they don't walk up to contest a Sivir. I have never ever, on my life, I have never lost that matchup Sivir versus Yunara, and that Yunara's gone 20 deaths because she will try to hit the wave and I will just hit her back.
Sivir's going 20 deaths. You mean?
Yeah, not me. I go 20.
You said Yunara's
I go
going
20 deaths as like Caitlyn.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
not Yunara. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a lot about stat checking.
100%. Yeah.
Right?
You got good genes.
Yeah, you got good genes with the stat check. So
Yeah.
especially at 6, I find like I don't have as much Yunara mastery as you, not even close. So like one of the 2 main reference points I like to focus on is your level 1 and your level 6. Levels 2 to 5, couldn't really care what they do. I just want them to get to level 6 and then stat check at 6, right? Because level 6 is obviously bonkers.
Yeah, between level like 3 and level 5, you're a bit weaker.
Yeah.
It gets a bit harder.
It's got a bit like an Urgot power curve, where you're strong at 1 and then you're weak and then you're strong again.
And the Urgot power. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. We're Urgot players here.
Yeah,
I
did learn
okay.
I could save a line. I'm an Urgot, mate. I can say it. I'm obviously not.
And then another thing, so if your support is getting hit, then at that point, I'm already on them. I'm already on the AD carry hitting him. I'm like, I went from here and now I'm suddenly like, I'm the Slender Man and I'm behind him already hitting. If they're hitting my support, like I'm protective, you will die or I will die. You should play like that. And
Praedyth
then-
does play like that as well. That's why I think it's why, as a player, you thrive so well with Yunara, is because I don't know whether it's your top lane background, but you're just so comfortable clicking someone to the death. Like you
Yeah.
fight to the last auto.
got nothing to lose.
Yunara
doesn't he?
needs to do that,
Yeah.
right? If you just like do a little bit of in and out, like click back, clicking behind you is a big thing with all the Yunara's players suck at for some reason. Because the normal AD carry thing is you click the enemy,
Yeah, and then you
click
click back.
behind you. Yunara, you need to, as Praedyth said, you need to click ahead, right?
Click forward.
You're
Click
ramping
forward.
into a fight.
Yes.
Whereas other champions, they have cooldowns, right? But Yunara, you have your W, which is you're gonna miss anyway. Let's be honest. And then you're clicking forward and you're ramping to that fight with your lethal tempo, and no champ will beat you unless Draven has 2 axes and he's 7 foot. Yeah.
Other problems I see with Yunaras in reviews, Nathan, is they don't press E enough. They don't dodge spells.
What's the
with
E
their
do?
Movement speed.
Oh, okay.
Little burst of speed.
Yeah.
So if you're laning against like a Morgana or something, they throw the binding at you. You can E to the side and then chase them down and kill them. But people just hold the E. It's like 40 mana or
yeah.
something.
Yeah.
It's really low mana.
People struggle with uptime for low range champs. So you'll have like a Morgana, as a perfect example, a Morgana bind's coming at you, but you can auto attack, so you will.
Yeah.
So you're sidestepping, but you're also auto attacking. Like
Yeah.
We got to commit to the sidestep. We got to commit to eating away from the bind, because we don't run out of damage. And even though you can attack, it's better to stop. But yeah, ping your support to die for you. I literally it might be different for me, but I literally will tell my support just die for me, and then it works, right? Because they're hitting my support, and
Yeah.
I have enough damage for both of us. That's the biggest thing for Yunara for sure. Buy Kraken, because it fits the identity of the champ a lot better than Yuntal. And got a guide coming out soon on the botlaneacademy.wtleague.com.
Not the URL.
Subscribe, and you'll find how to fix her win rate together.
What about mid game stuff?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. What do people do in mid game?
So I mean, in general, using E in your ulti form. So in the mid game, you are a front to back, hyper scaling AD carry. You're a bit weaker than Jinx and stuff in that on Sivir, but you are not. You're no longer I'm gonna fight to the death, and you're more of an AD carry. People really struggle with that. A lot of time they're too aggressive and they dive in. Where we just got to be we got to chill out. We got to hit the front line, and we have our moment later to dive in on the back line. But either we're diving in with people on CC targets, or we're just playing front to back and we're just chill out. It's going to be fine. And then just not being aggressive enough on the mid wave at the same time. Either they're too aggressive or they're not aggressive enough. I guess it's about finding the nice balance there.
It's like to relate it to another champion, like an Olaf. What you want to do is you want to go fishing with the Yunara W on the mid wave. If you land the normal form Yunara W, you just fucking RE and you kill them. That's generally how because you stat check everyone. Same with Olaf. You land an axe in lane, you got to run at them and start.
But
doing
if you
more,
miss
right?
the axe, no play to be
Yeah,
done.
if you miss your regular Yunara W, that's kind of your kill threat gone mostly.
Yeah.
But if you do land it, they can't get away because it's the combination of you having a slow and a dash and then another slow. It's crazy. It's so stupid.
And the E move speed as well.
Yeah, it's mental.
So do you guys recommend people to play Yunara? Or is it more
Yes.
of like people's play style?
Come get coaching from me or Charlie and play Yunara.
Is that just because you love the champion so much that you feel like you're really good at teaching it? Or
No,
you
'cause-
genuinely think people should learn the game with Yunara?
You need coaching
Oh, to actually...
to play Yunara.
I see. But if you get coaching, you could speeds up your learning process so much.
I have people in my chat in the Yunara Discord, which is the BLA just Yunara
the
section.
champ forum.
Yeah, they show me games where they're going 25-0, and I'm
Holy
like,
shit.
it's it's about finding that, and then I'm sure they'll go up a rank and they'll start losing because they're too aggressive against players that know more. So it's just about constantly refining your matchup knowledge and your threat assessment. Really rewarding champion. The better you get at her, the more results you'll have. I think unlike any other champ in the game. So really good champ to one trick.
All right. And I think our last champion is Zeri.
The last marksman.
Our last marksman, yes.
Markswoman is Zeri.
So, where do we want to go with Zeri? Is Zeri similar to Smolder, where you... Okay, the common Zeri narrative is you sit in lane and you scale and win fights with the Yuumi on top of you.
That's pretty accurate.
Is that it? Is that still how it is?
Yeah, so I made a tier list. I put her in the second last tier, only above Kalista, because...
So we're talking about bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, and she's really good when you get 3 items, right? And the new quests helps her get there. But she's not that much better than something like a Jinx, or it's even worse sometimes than a Jinx. And then you think about champions like Twitch do really well into her, even if she gets her items. She's countered by a few champions. So yeah, I mean, I think Zeri just is too weak early for how good she is at 3 items, pretty much. Like the trade-off's not worth it. You may as well play something else.
So Charlie right now is looking up the win rate and the
Well,
stats
I'm actually more
for
interested in the
Zeri.
pick rate. Yeah,
pick
she just
rate.
doesn't get played. She's like a 1% pick rate.
Wow.
The winner is actually positive, which I'm surprised by.
That what ranks that? That's
Gold
gold
plus.
and, gold and above.
Gold plus.
49.
Is that not say win
Game
rate?
average win rate.
Yeah, no, the right one's the real one.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
so slightly below 50, 49.97.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you got to think one tricks are playing. Zeri's one trick champion as well, right? Also a champion that you're picking with like Yuumi, right? Really good when you get those 3 items. It's just in my experience, you should just be playing Jinx or Sivir over Zeri, no matter what elo you are, pretty much.
Yeah, unless you want to play for fun, like
100%.
She's kind of a fun champ, but you're right. In terms of results, there's really no reason to spec into her at the moment. She's kind of been pro-jailed like some of the other champs you've said as well. You make Zeri too strong and the pro players will eviscerate the rift with them.
Yep.
Yeah, she's just not very popular. I've never seen, I'll just put it out there, I've never seen anyone get results from this champion. Not a single person.
Wow.
And we've had like over 1,000 people in Botlane Academy.
Yeah.
So just a mixture of unpopular and hard to climb on.
All right. So now what I'm going to do, now we're in the mages section of this episode.
Lovely.
Now, I know you guys love mages.
I do love mages. I've actually become a bit of a mage player myself. It's like the Spider-Man meme. Like I'm a bit of a mage player myself.
If Curtis was here, he probably would have a lot to say about.
Oh yeah, we're
these
doing this
because-
without Curtis. That's terrible.
Yeah. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to list out all the mage champions that are played in the bot lane role, and then we can talk about ones that you guys think are interesting or worth talking about.
Wait, okay. Can I just give like a little overview of mages
Sure.
first?
Yep.
So mages.
What's your general overview of mages in the bot lane, and teach it like from the perspective of, teaching the game, playing them,
Yes.
climbing.
So mages are good neutralizers. You can't run at a mage past, and once they get their spells, so level 1, you can absolutely abuse the mage. But think about any mage in the game. Once they get their spells, they combo together well, right? So think of like, Vel'Koz, Brand. Their passives work off getting levels. So level 1, we are abusing them and running them down. But then once they get their wave clear abilities, so think of just like Xayah or things like that, they're just going to one-shot the wave and they're not interactive. You can't interact with the mages. And that's my problem with them. That's why I don't think they should be good. I don't know who thinks they should be good. Even like Lux can just clear a wave, and then if you run up to her, she'll stun you and one-shot you.
By when you say you don't think they should be good, you mean from like Riot's perspective? You think they need to be nerfed or something?
They need to be changed in the bot lane
Right.
because
Pretty tall order, I think. I think it's pretty tricky to do that.
just give me magic resist.
That's actually not a bad idea.
That's an easy
actually.
fix,
There
yeah.
you go. Done.
Fuck it.
I didn't think of that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like once they get points in their wave clear ability, you can't get onto them. They're going to clear the wave, and then suddenly you're not able to like push your lead. That really punishes champions like, Corki and Yunara. And I don't like that for the game. So that's my issue with them. And they're also a bit passengers, because when you get your 3 items as any AD carry, you will be stronger. But a mage can just sit back and wave clear, and in a game that they'll get carried, they're really good at getting carried. And a game that they need a solo carry, they probably won't solo carry, right? But AD carry impact is a bit questionable sometimes. So in a game where you're just 0-0-0 clearing waves, that can be a good way to have a good win rate. And you can see, if you look at win rates, all the mages are absolutely filling the spots.
Yep, they're leagues above every AD carry in the game.
Wow.
Always, yeah.
Yeah.
So, what's the general consensus in the Botlane Academy around mages? Do you guys recommend people to always have a mage in your pool? Is mages, you need to have mages in the bot lane right now, playing that role, like to round out comps so you have heavy AD?
No. Absolutely not.
You
So-
don't need an AP champion.
No,
in your pool.
absolutely not. You definitely do not need an AP champion in the AD carry position. That's ridiculous. So no, you don't ever need to play AP. If your team picks full AD, just pick full AD and fucking lose in peace. You know, it's all good. Pick me whatever and lose in peace.
Yep.
But no, should people play mages? If you want to, sure. I think people should play what they like. I think it's important that people play what they want to play. Some people like off-rolling in the bot lane academy. So if you're a mid laner and you want to off-roll bot, absolutely play a mage. Go for it. Abuse that shit. You know, don't feel the need to learn an AD carry. Just play a mage. Do what Curtis does. Do what Shock does. Shock plays Cassio bot. Curtis plays Swain bot. They win every game on it. It's really good. But no, I would say if you're an AD carry player, don't go near them unless you or have an affinity towards it. And yeah, just like it's frustrating to verse the mages. I think that's what's annoying. Is like it's a combination of them being the reason they get a bad rap. And I have contributed to this a little bit. I think I said they were morally dubious last time we discussed this, which was obviously a bit of hyperbole. But like they're not only strong, but they're annoying. It's like Mel. Mel is strong, was strong and annoying, you know?
Yeah.
Like what's strong and annoying in other roles? There's got to be some other stuff. Like, is there anything in other roles? Like, in lower ranks, like
Shaco.
Yeah, I was thinking like Shaco, Evelyn, this kind of stuff. Like at times they're strong and they're annoying because the counterplay isn't on the surface or there is no counterplay, you know?
Zed when he's ahead, things like this.
Yeah, for sure. So that's why mages get a bad rap because it's just boring to verse them because the correct play against the mage is don't go near the goddamn mage, you know? And then you'll still be useful later on, but it's just easier for them to impact the game by doing less and you have to do more to do the same.
All right, so I'm going to list out all the mage champions, and I'll sort of ask some questions, and maybe you guys can talk about some. So the ones that are popular in the bot lane academy role, bot lane role, Brand, Cassiopeia, Heimerdinger, Hui, Karthus, Lux, Mel, Seraphine, Swain, Syndra, Veigar, Vel'Koz. I said support question mark. Is Vel'Koz ever played? Is it better support or better?
It's fine.
It's fine in both.
Play it if you want it.
Victor, Ziggs, Xerath. Is Xerath more support?
Yeah, so you've listed a few that I
think are just better support.
don't think, yeah.
Or they're just deeply unpopular. Like there
Yeah.
might be the odd game. Like I saw a Xerath 80 carry the other day, but like they're very, very rare.
Yeah, people don't play that.
And then
that much.
Zara.
I mean, even like Heimer. Heimer's really not
So
playing very much.
yeah, so there's like Heimer.
Heimer's too old school again.
I think there's three there, but I can't see. I don't have my glasses on.
So yeah, I mean, look, we can just go top to bot. Like I think Brand is like actually really good, but really unpopular. Brand is one of the easiest ones to play. The whole play pattern with Brand is you want to put one of your spells on a minion and then just eat a minion and then just watch the little pyroclasm go off and hit you across the screen. And it's the most toxic play pattern ever.
Yep.
But and Brand is so good at being useful. Even if you're like 0-10, you'll just like rock
Like
up.
Karthus.
Yeah, Karthus is the same. Although I would say the Karthus is a bit more difficult to pull off. Like you need to be good at Karthus, I would say.
But like with Brand, you just press R on a team fight and you're gonna do damage. Like
Very good
Karthus.
at being useful, but you can also int a game on Brand, hard int a game. Like how many brands do you see ruin the game completely?
Yeah.
So what do you guys coach? Who's like talk because there's no point really talking too much about champs that are just one person watching this podcast is playing it.
Yeah.
What do people play in the bot lane academy?
Do you coach any mages?
Hui is 2 players.
So talk about Hui. What do you see Hui players do?
Side note, that's probably the most frustrating champ in the game universe, and I permaban it if it's ever played.
What makes it frustrating?
Because she clears the wave, and if you walk up to her, she fears you. So like, she gets level 7. What do I do? She instant clears the wave. I can't go on her.
Cleanse the fear.
Now what?
Cleanse the fear. Okay,
Okay,
good.
That's like a 4-minute cooldown. 4 minutes, Charlie.
Kill him once every 4 minutes. Sounds like a good
That's
strategy.
not enough.
No, that is something you said though. I remember because you made a bit of a resource for BLA about mages, and you did say that running Ghost or Cleanse is more useful, generally speaking, right?
Or both.
Or
playing as a mage or playing against them?
Against the mage. You should run Ghost so you can stick on them, or you should run Cleanse so you can stick on them because they're going to stun you.
I see.
Yeah. So, I mean, Hui is just really good bot laner. She gets the protection from the support. And then on top of that, she gets the wave clear, as I said. She says no to engage, and she scales fine, right? But, like, she's not going to scale as well as an AD carry. She'll be useful. But she gets to that point in lane, level 5, level 7, where she's just clearing the wave and you can't do anything. And then she gets oppressive because once she starts shoving you on the tower, if you can't fight her, then you're suffering. You will lose your tower. And if you're good at Hui, which I'm not, if you're good at Hui, then she's really rewarding to play as well. So honestly, if you're going to play a mage and you like playing Hui, then she's a really good one-to-one trick.
Who else do you guys coach? Or is it literally just Hui in the Botland Academy?
No one? No, yeah, I very, very, very rarely see mages. I see some Syndra a bit. Syndra's actually a mage that I do play. I did put a lot of time not a lot, but some time last year into Syndra. I think she's pretty good.
Yeah, Karthus is, I think, bad, but I see Karthus players not knowing the line between inting and playing Karthus properly, because you do want to be
Still
inting.
valuing your life, but still valuing your life. So.
I had
Yeah.
a game against the Karthus where they would push the wave into my turret, dive me under the tower, 1-for-1, and I couldn't play the game.
Yeah.
And they would just do that, and they did that for the whole game. And I was like, I was like, what the do I do? Like, how do I function?
You fight him at the wave. And then you
No, but he had tempo on me. Once he kills me once, it's over.
Yeah, it's over. Yeah.
It's over. I
Yeah,
can't dodge
you can't.
Skittles because
How do you play?
of arthritis or something. I don't know.
I don't see a Karthus without him going 10 deaths,
Yeah.
at least. And that's that's light work for him. Yeah, so Karthus, you have to find the line between inting and playing properly, where it's very confused sometimes, because a lot of time you do want to just run forward with your exhaust and your W, and you want to be sitting on top of them and dying for the trade.
Yeah.
But then a lot of time in the mid game, that bleeds into just lazy, silly deaths, where they're just inting pretty much.
Yeah, you want to int in lane, not in the mid game.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. And then even sometimes they're inting too much in lane for sure. Yeah, and then I see Lux. Lux is similar to Hui, a bit more oppressive, a bit weaker, I would say, in some points. Like a lot easier to verse. Like you just dodge her Q and then you can all in. A lot better to run cleanse against her, but like for playing her, you're just making sure you're ulting off CC. You'll be very useful if you're a good Lux. Like Lux has to be one of the best bot lane champions to be actually good at. I just think, in my experience, it's probably not easy to get through a lot of lanes as Lux. But she definitely scales really well.
Because you can ER a wave later on in the game as well. The whole game, use ER a wave, and your R's on like what? It's like a 30-something second cooldown, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy cooldown.
It's like 20 seconds. They go like Malignance and it's just GG.
Yeah, I think Lux is just a better version of Ziggs, no? Like,
Nah, Ziggs is still good.
I just think Ziggs
Ziggs is good.
When I look at this list, outside of Shock's Cassiopeia, shout out to Shock, Ziggs is, I think Ziggs is like the best mage.
what about Swain? So I think Swain's the best mage by far.
Oh, guaranteed. But you probably don't see it much, right?
Yeah, I don't see it much. I see Ziggs maybe more.
That champ's not normal.
Well, Ziggs is, I guess, the strengths with Ziggs against Lux is obviously for tower killing is obviously really, really good. And I guess your early game is better as Ziggs, right? Like early game is Lux. Lux level 1, you can't play the game, right? But Ziggs, I guess you can actually start fighting.
Well, you're a
bit
bit
more.
safer as well in a way.
You got mobility, yeah.
Yeah, you got mobility. But same thing, like you do start just clearing waves. Your auto attacks do damage as both your champions as well. They scale super well with levels. I mean, they both like the protection of a support as well. I mean, they're both really good picks for bot lane. Swain, as you said, is like a bit it just feels like he's a bit unfair right now, especially once he gets his ult. But even like without your ult, people stand in waves, get hit by the E.
The Swain E has a magnet attached to it that hits every 80 carry.
I actually don't know a single player who likes versing Swain, I guess.
Yeah.
Like I don't know many people who like versing champions, but Swain is really, people really struggle. Swain support, Swain 80 carry to dodge the E. They like extend trades too much, get hit by the E, and then the Swain heals. They're really confused about Swain for sure.
I think a lot of versing mages, you have to have much better horizontal movement, the versing ADs. Like, you really need to be able to actually dodge their spells. Like, that's such a big thing in reviews. When I think me and you both would have coached more versus mages than playing mages, right? And a lot of versing mages is, just dodging their shit, and it's dodging their shit, and then it's finding all in windows. If you can do those two things, you will beat the mage, right?
Yeah.
But that's easier said than done.
But that requires like what's the word? Like you need to do stuff. Like you need to be proactively looking for these things. You need to be using your tempo correctly. You need to be abusing that level 1. People struggle with that.
I also think we just have a biased sample size, Nathan, with people playing mages. Like, people don't join Bot Lane Academy to play mages.
Yeah, they'll just join Mid Lane Academy or just not really get
or
coaching.
just not really get coaching. They're more. It's a lot of off rolling as well. I think most mid laners are pretty good at laning, so they just have a lot of success in bot lane.
Actually, if you're Iron to Honestly, if you're iron to diamond, you can just lock in Vigar and just put a cage around someone, and they freak it. Like everyone just freaks out.
They do. I freak out. It's just scary, dude.
It's like I can't touch the wall.
Or if you've got a duo, play Veigar Poppy. Have you ever versed Veigar Poppy?
Yeah, it's unbeatable.
Yeah, it's unbeatable.
Yeah.
It's like a hidden OP. They should play it at Worlds, honestly.
Really?
Yeah, it's so stupid. Because you put the cage around them and then you Poppy into the cage.
Oh, does that work?
Yeah, it works.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, it's an exploit. It's literally an exploit.
Crazy.
Yeah. So Vigar would be my recommended. Like, just play the champ.
Lock it in, Eddie.
There's definitely, it's like Smolder. There's a skill cap to it as well, but it's also very easy. So shout out Vigar.
What about Melbot? Did something happen to that?
That's cringe.
The people don't play as it used to be really good, but no one plays.
Got nerfed into the ground.
Oh, did it? Really?
Yeah, he also got permabanned for like
Like
Mel's banned every game in a lot of games.
I was contributing. To that
I was
Mel
also
ban.
doing that. Yes, me
Yeah.
too. I think Kerr's got angry at me and you for banning Mel so much.
I think since the changes, she probably doesn't get banned as much. But
Let's have a look.
last patch, you look at her ban rate. What is it now?
Ban
Still
rate.
20% or 18.5%.
Yeah. If you can shuffle it to the patch before, or like 2 patches before, maybe you'll see that people just don't want to versus champ.
Well, it was 33%.
33%.
So
Yeah,
it went from 33% down to.
I mean, let's look at the end of last year. It was even higher. 48% was at the end of
48%,
last
yeah.
year.
Shit.
Like, no offense, but it's kind of cringe.
Yeah.
Also, it's like, it's not normal. That the damage she does is not normal. I don't know how her win rate's like that. Like, it's like dead ass. It's not.
Well, win rate, wait, win rate's 46% currently.
Yeah,
and on the
that's
patch,
correct.
it's always been 46%. But like, I don't understand because they walk up and auto me and press like Q once, and then they ult me and I die.
No, the good Mels will win a lot. It's just people pick it because they think it's easy. But they're bad at the W. And in the mid game, if Mel lands one spell into R, you're basically dead.
Yeah,
It's
so
really
crazy.
frustrating. She's the ultimate champion where you have to not run into them. You have to spare your range versus Mel and just wait for her.
True.
But yeah, she broke the game for sure when she was released.
All right, well, that wraps up all the champions. I was going to weave in some of these questions during the podcast, but we're having too much fun. We're having too much fun with the specific champion. So I wanted to ask about, we're talking a lot about the experience of Bot Academy because this is the people that we work with every single day. And, this is what we hear the community struggles with. What are some narratives around support players? That you guys hear from ADKs. And it's funny because we actually have supports in the Botland Academy as well. Like, what do people ask about supports, or do you guys just tell them just focus on yourself, don't worry, just adapt to your support? I mean, you sound like you tell people to ping your support and actually will listen.
You want to start?
Look, I really don't see much narratives around supports other than like the classic one is just like my support isn't doing anything. But then you look at the VOD and they are. That's probably the biggest one. It's like literally they will say something like, oh, my Thresh just didn't do anything this lane. And you watch the VOD and it's like, well, the Thresh has landed a few hooks and they're taking space in the bushes and they're kind of doing their job. They're not playing like carrier, but they're doing fine. So I think people have a really high expectations of their supports a lot of the time.
Like even more than themselves.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's just a specific type of person. The people who've been in Bot Lane Academy for a while don't.
Yeah.
But yeah, some newer members definitely have a bit of that. But there's nothing really specific, I think. It's mostly pretty chill.
For me, 2 things. The first one is like, I don't know if I'll say like, what happened in this game? Like, why are you bringing this game in? And I say, yeah, my support was like, I feel like he was like kind of useless, kind of trolling. And then like I look at it and it's like, no, like you're trolling. like they're finding like, I wish I had this. Like, I wish I had this Thresh. I wish I could play with this Rel.
Yeah.
Like this guy's the GOAT. You're just like, you're just not tethering to them correctly, right?
Yeah, that's the big one, isn't it? People don't stand in line with their support nearly enough.
I think a lot of people, they'll click back and then they'll let their champion just fall back whilst they're looking at something else, and they're too far away from their support goes in, and then they're not in range. So just make sure you're tethering to support correctly, just a tiny bit behind them in their engage range as well. And then the second thing is like, I don't know why my support didn't do this. Well, like, he's probably thinking about something else and you haven't pinged once. Like, how are you expecting to tell him? Like, you're expecting him to know what you're feeling. Like they've been dating for like 5 years and they're in a marriage. But it's like, no. So those are the 2 things.
Yeah, expectations is often a big one.
What
There was one other thing with supports, which I've forgotten now.
What
Nathan.
about, I mean, I was going to ask about support roaming.
Oh, that was it.
Okay.
That was it. What do I do when the support roams? It's just fucking copy paste that question 100 times a day. You know, my support's roaming. What do I do? It's like, well, just they're winning you the game. You know.
Yep.
That's what you need. That's the mindset shift you need to have.
As long as you don't lose the game for yourself.
Yeah, just play a humble weak side and you'll probably win that game. Because if a support's roaming, it probably means they're a proactive player who's playing with some level of intensity and trying to win. And support's roaming is good. It's really good for supports to roam. They should roam.
Yeah. Touch on that, right? It's like, they're like, my support, I don't know what they're doing. They're roaming. How can I play the
They
game?
ditched me, is what they say.
they abandoned me.
Yes.
And they literally get a pentakill top.
Yeah.
And then,
that's right.
and then like the waves coming in and they're coming back they're literally on the way back to lane.
Yeah.
The waves coming in and they walk up
And get died.
and like they go for the one caster minion.
Yeah.
And then they lose all their health and like, I'm just getting griefed, man. Like, how can I play? And I'm like,
That's what they say.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Because
guess
what they don't understand is that they think when the support leaves, they're never coming back. But it's literally like two waves.
Yeah.
It's like two waves, so they have to just
Yeah.
play a bit safer.
people
you know?
just automatically lock into that narrative, and people also just have main character syndrome, right? They're saying, I'm a carry, you have to play for me.
Yeah, they'll start fucking getting on the
well,
keyboard.
think about it like
fucking
this.
diving.
Think about it like this, right? If you can see someone taking a raptor camp, right? You don't like you want to fight him to the death, right? And you're gonna lose your mind sometimes fighting him to the death because that's your raptor camp. So when you see a caster minion that's worth 14 gold dying in the background, you need to get the caster minion
Because it's yours. Is the
yeah,
mindset.
you're going in between the Lux Caitlyn
Yeah.
lane. You're getting overkilled 10k damage just to get that one caster minion. So yeah, just like respect roam timing. Respect it when it's their turn. When your support comes back, it'll be your turn. Preserve your health. Yeah.
What's the main question you guys get around concepts or fundamentals that people really struggle with? Talking more about like, not champion stuff, like, fundamentals in general. Do people really struggle with trading?
I think, well, look, people struggle with everything. So I think like the more important, better question is maybe like, what are the biggest bang for buck things to focus on? Like things that give you hundreds of LP. I think the biggest one for me is just mid game viewing every neutral objective as a decision. Am I going to fight this dragon or am I going to concede this dragon? Most people fall into one of two camps. They either fight every dragon, regardless, or they have no idea what a dragon is, never seen one in their life. Sometimes it appears, sometimes it doesn't. They're not viewing the game as a sequence of dragon spawns. But if you start viewing the game as a sequence of dragon spawns and decisions around those dragons, your mid game is automatically much better than everyone around you, and you're going to gain hundreds of LP.
Yeah. And to touch on that, I'm okay for you to like literally grief, like literally run it down. If it's no objectives are up. Right, you can do it. It's bad, but it's a learning experience, right? But I hate when people will grief, like while they're waiting for a dragon, or they fight over a dragon, they kill the jungler, and then they chase into a brand and they die, right? Like we're fighting over the dragon, in that scenario, or like we're not fighting when the dragon's going to spawn. We're playing because how do we win the game as an AD carry? We don't gank early. We don't kill towers and split push. We win the game by team fighting. So we got to play around those objectives.
Anything else?
Yeah, for sure. So I'm sure Charlie can agree that level 1, level 2 can always be better. Sometimes it's not significant, sometimes it is, but there's always something to look at level 1. I'm sure it's the same as...
What are the common things? Is it not going out of base 15 seconds?
Mainly just hitting the wave.
hitting the wave.
Getting pushed. People just don't try to get push
I see.
enough.
Instead of hitting the wave, they just sit and like
Yeah.
do nothing, twiddle their thumbs. Fair enough.
Just ward the middle bush and auto attack the wave and see what happens.
I promise you the game gets easier when you hit the bush. I mean, not hit the bush, hit the wave. Second thing is we push mid. So yeah, question I get is like, I feel like I can't translate my lead, but then they'll push mid and then like they push mid, they back off, wait for the next wave. Push mid, back off. We need to just move somewhere just in case something happens. Move somewhere.
Push and lean aside.
Yeah, lean aside, right? Like get to the fight first. Get a camp. Get something from your mid
There's
pro.
a massive list of activities you can do after every mid wave, right?
Yeah.
You can take camps, you can base, you can lean to sides, you can gank sides, you can
Hit
fucking
mid tower.
go
Fuck
place
it.
wards, hit mid tower and lose the game very
Yeah.
quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be awesome. But people do doughies is what I call it, Nathan. Remember, they do doughies. They hop in their car and they start drifting around near their own tower mid and the wave's here, gotta go back,
Yeah.
They waste time.
Something that we sometimes talk about in the podcast is that this is how we get a lot of our topics, is we have like a theme that we just happen to be seeing in coaching sessions in the academies. What's the most recent theme you saw? Something you found you repeated like a lot in reviews that sort of just popped up recently? What's up with you, Charlie?
Wow.
What's a recent theme? Or is it just literally every review is just so unique? It's like goes.
No, it's more that every review is like quite similar, and the theme doesn't really change week to week. It's just a lot of the same stuff. AD carry is like it's not a very deep role. You know, it's just like you got to do a couple of things and you got to do them well. I would say that cooldown based trading is something I'm talking about a lot at the moment. So just trading, like, because the mid game has been simplified quite a bit in terms of like.
No Atacon.
No Atacon. You have to do a bit more win con assessment in mid game now, but it's the actual what you do is a bit easier. But yeah, people just trading around specific abilities in lane and getting granular about what those abilities are and the mindset around trading is something that's come up a lot this last week or two.
Yeah, I think there's a long list of things that are, evergreen in coaching. But something that definitely has popped up a lot for some reason, for no reason at all, but it's just...
Yeah, that's what we find. Sometimes there's just no reason at all. It's like really weird. That just pops up.
I think it's because people come to me with a lot of coaching with like Kai'Sa and Yunara and stuff, and I say preserve your health, but they will, as I said before, they'll die for the 1 minion. They'll take a really bad trade for that 1 minion where we just need they have the slow push, just let the wave crash and play off the bounce. It's so important. But instead, they walk up, they get poked, and then now they can't all in. And now, like, their laning phase win conditions and their reference points are now, they're shot.
Yeah. So do you think that's just an issue is because people are just in general it's not their strength to think long term. They don't think of the consequences of being low HP, losing HP enough. Or they're just obsessed with this autopilot. Is it an autopilot problem where there's autopiloting? Like, minion low, I have to go last hit. That's my job.
I think a lot of the time it's also just, some of that and some of just... I'm not CSing well, and so they think that getting that 1 CS is going to fix their CS, but no, like
it actually makes it even worse.
It makes it makes it 50 times worse, right? Because now you have to recall, you die, and then you're going to lose literally 20 minions for that 1 minion. So that's big. I mean, as I said, there's an endless things that I constantly talk about, but that thing's definitely been popping up recently. It was just hitting the wave, as I said earlier. Just hit the wave, man. Like, the game becomes so much easier if we just hit the wave. Yeah.
Hit the wave.
Yep. Don't hit them, hit the wave. And then when you do hit them, make sure it counts.
Yeah. Or, like, make sure we're always hitting the wave, even if we're hitting them. In the downtime, when we're not hitting them, hit the wave.
All right. Well, this has been a information-packed ADC Ultimate Guide update for the BBC podcast. I want to handball it back to the... audience, to our BBCers. What did we miss? What are some things that...
Which champion did Nathan literally not write on the list?
I think I guarantee the champion. Talk about in general questions for ADC, because we might do more of these update episodes here and there. Oh, we want to do them for other roles. So if we know what is... Well, yeah, we actually are going to
We are doing them for other roles. We'll get more specialists in the
we're going to do a support one, and we'll do a jungle one, and we'll do a mid lane one.
And a top lane one.
And a top... Okay,
no, we did the top lane with Chippies very recently.
Yes, we did actually, yes.
Yeah.
So let us know what questions you want to know for AD Carry. We can update that one or just have a mini episode with Praedyth on it. And if not, hope you guys enjoyed. We'll see you guys on our next episode.